Oh, it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Ah, well. It's not working. Why isn't it working? Come on. Oh, I wonder if I had to do it on there. Okay. Have to work on that one for next time. Thought I figured it out.
The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Viewer discretion is advised. In 5, 4, 3, 2, live now.
Don't know, Mike. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, everybody. Me and Macho. Hell did you listening? Mike Trash, TrashTalkingRadio.com. The best in the business. Say it so much.
Wrestling fans throughout radio land, listen to Trash Talking Radio at TrashTalkingRadio.com. Every Tuesday from 7 to 10 o'clock. You hear guys like myself, the youth gambling guys, come on. That's my favorite.
The Trash Talking Radio Show from 7 to whenever we get done is by using the screwdriver. Track, roast, beef, Mr. Screwdriver the other half of the Rock and Wrestling Connection. That's the trashy one and the loony one together forever.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Ivan Koloff. I'm here to tell you about Mike Talking Trash. The Trash, 7 to 10. Tuesday night, you got to listen in. It's the best around, the best in town. Mike Taylor, the animal, one half of the world brother, take in the room where everything is up. If you know it's good to you, listen to Trash Talking Radio or else.
Everybody, you're watching Trash Talking Radio. This is Homecoming. What do you got to say about Trash Talking Radio? I gotta say that I just love Trash Talking Radio. You're out of the picture, dude. This is my show, and you better watch me because what you gonna do when Homecoming is brand new Trash Talking Radio? What's wild on you?
This is the Vital Idol, and you're listening to Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10 on TrashTalkingRadio.com. And remember this, when the Vital Idol tells you, it's got to be true. And when it's on the internet, it's got to be real. It's Trash Talking Radio every Tuesday from 7 to 10. I am the top of pop, the king of swing, the international rock star, way above par, the host with the most, Mr. Tuesday Night, the Vital Idol, Classy Mike Trash, and thank you very much.
It's Trash Talking Radio Tuesday night, and there we are. Hey, I did it all. I did it right. Hard to believe. Oh, you know, I never set your camera up. Can you see anything? I didn't even look at the camera.
Yeah, I can see.
Oh, is it
okay from last week? It's a little tilted.
tilted?
It's fine.
But we are tilted. It's just after us. Just
You
tilt your head.
fine.
Tilt your head. You know. Let's see what I can see here. It's funny because I was doing everything else. I was trying to get us on Instagram tonight, but didn't kind of work for some reason, and I don't know why. It seemed to work. It looked like it was going to work. I was sure it was going to work. In fact, I was thinking it was just the way we needed it to work, and it didn't do that.
You see, you said it was too easy.
I know, I did, didn't I? Should teach me a lesson there. There, whoop, I had it. Let me see. There you go.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So, all right. Well, let me hit this button here that sends it to lots of people. Hopefully, lots of people will pay attention. It should do that. Is there anybody else I need to send it to? No. I'll send it to him just for fun. I listen to his show once in a while. He better listen to my show one of these days. All right, here we go. There we go. Now we got all kinds of invitations going out for people to pay attention or not. And they can't say, oh, I didn't know about it, because I say, well, I see it here in your messenger. All right, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Oh.
Well, let me take a second and officially say happy birthday.
Whose birthday is it?
Birthday boy, 29 years old today.
Yeah. I'm pushing 30. This is the oldest.
Twice over, buddy. Twice over.
Today is the oldest I've ever been, so I can say that with some.
And Michael,
Yes, sir.
you should know this as an actor. You look the part.
Oh, good. That's nice to know. I wish I looked the part of a 30-year-old. Hey, there's Christine. She says, hi, guys. He said the same thing from the 110-pound girlfriend he had. Oh, ha, ha, ha. I don't know if I could handle a 110-pound girlfriend. I'd kill her, you know. That'd be fragile as can be. I don't know. I've always liked the bigger girls anyway. Yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got some crazy stuff and some interesting stuff. So I guess we'll start with the only death, fortunately the only death since we had 8 of them last week. That's another game we'll play too. We had 8 deaths, we had 7 deaths, but one of them was, the 8th one was the Wild Samoans as a team. So I thought I should do them twice because of the fact that and I missed the one guy. He died actually in June, and I just threw him in there because I don't want to talk about Alpha without Sika. You can't really talk about Alpha without Sika, because they were really they made tag team wrestling interesting. The first 2 actually do that to me, and they scared the living daylights out of me when I was a kid. So, all right. So let's do the the one death. Sid Vicious, Sid Udy. He was actually on this show.
Oh, he was?
Yes, he was. And I'm going to prove it, because I like to prove it. Oh, here's the death. He had cancer of some sort. They didn't really disclose too much about it. And he looked pretty good he's 63. I didn't know, well, you know, I guess I should have thought he was around there, because he'd been around like, geez, as far back as I can remember. I would say I remember him from the 90s. Because I used to watch other areas, and he was Lord Humongous in one of the areas. And that was in the 90s. So he went through a lot of, I pretty much watched his career from the beginning to the end. So I feel like, you know, he came a long way. Anyway, here's his story.
Obituary for Sid Ud, aka Sid Vicious. Born December 16, 1960. Died August 26, 2024. Sidney Raymond UD, better known to the world as professional wrestling legend Sid Vicious, passed away at the age of 63 on August 26, 2024. Known for his towering presence, explosive power, and intense persona, Sid made an indelible mark on the wrestling world over a career that spanned more than 3 decades. Born on December 16, 1960, in West Memphis, Arkansas, Sid quickly became a force to be reckoned with in the wrestling world. Standing at 6 feet 9 inches and weighing in at over 300 pounds, his size and athleticism made him a natural fit for the sport. He began his wrestling career in the mid-1980s, quickly rising through the ranks with his menacing persona and devastating power moves. Sid's career highlights include winning the WWF World Heavyweight Championship twice and the WCW World Heavyweight Championship twice. He was known for his feuds with some of the biggest names in wrestling, including Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, and Shawn Michaels. His memorable appearances at WrestleMania and other major events solidified his reputation as one of the most feared and respected wrestlers of his era. Sid's wrestling career was not without its challenges. In 2001, he suffered a devastating leg injury during a match that many believed would end his career. However, in true Sid fashion, he defied the odds and made a comeback, proving that his resilience was as formidable as his in-ring abilities. The Trash Talking radio show had him on as a guest, and he was a fun person. He talked about his time with WCW, WWE, and the business in general. Beyond his wrestling persona, Sid was known for his love of family, his passion for softball, and his larger-than-life personality. He was a devoted husband, father, and grandfather, who cherished time spent with his loved ones away from the spotlight. According to Sid's son, Gunnar, he died after a lengthy battle with cancer. Sid UD leaves behind a legacy as one of the most intimidating and dominant figures in professional wrestling history. He will be remembered not only for his achievements in the ring but also for his determination, strength, and the impact he had on fans and fellow wrestlers alike. He is survived by his wife, Sabrina Page, and his children, Frank and Gunnar. The wrestling world and his fans will forever remember the master and ruler of the world for the incredible mark he left on the industry.
All right, everybody, it's Trash Talk Radio every Tuesday night from 7 to 10. And if you want to talk to someone who'll probably talk you straight to the ground and make you feel like a fool, it's Mike Trash. And I say so because I'm Sid Vicious, the master and the ruler of the world.
He's a card, man. I really liked him. He was definitely a good interview. So, yeah. Yes, we did have him.
Yeah, obviously did.
I used to get some of
And
them.
here I thought you didn't have any friends, Mike.
Oh, I didn't say I didn't say it was my friend. I just said that I had some pretty cool guests on the show. But yeah, he was all right. He was probably more interesting than I thought he would be. I didn't think he would be as together as he was. And plus, he has that persona of being a really mean person. He wasn't. He wasn't that mean. That was just his persona, and he was good at it. I used to really love hating him. But that was before I was in the business that I, used to hate him. When I was in the business, I learned to appreciate him. And I don't know if you know about when he broke his leg. He jumped. He did a move in WCW where he jumped off the rope, and when he came down, his ankle or his leg collapsed and it broke in half. I mean, you could see it was in half, and it was scary, and it was about as gross as anything I've ever seen. And that's the injury they were talking about. That they thought that was it, but he recovered from it, and man, that guy was a tough guy. So
7 to 10.
let's see, it's stop it right there.
But it's Trash Talk Radio.
So yeah, he was a good guy. I didn't have I don't have a bad thing to say about him. The fact that he came on the show is cool. But we had him. We had Ultimate Warrior on the show. He didn't like the Ultimate Warrior. And actually, I thought the Ultimate Warrior was really weird. The things he talked about, even on... people said he was like this in real life, too, so I believe it. He couldn't get away from that persona that he played on TV. He played that all the time. And even the wrestlers said that would drive him crazy. So, yeah, he didn't know when to turn it off. But he was a good guy. So I don't know what else to say about it other than I like the guy. So, and something else happened that I found interesting. I do some online buying with Shop Goodwill. And they have some musical instruments that I was looking for and stuff, and along the way, I found some deals on wrestling belts, and I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. Like this one here, which is a signed belt that I got for a decent price. I believe it's signed by John Cena. So, we're not on there. No. Nobody can see us. Well, that really doesn't help me showing you something when nobody's looking, or nobody can look. Anyway, so here's a belt that I bought, and it's signed, I think, by John Cena. Well, shoot. Somehow I can show that. Okay. So this is the spinner belt, the infamous spinner belt. And so the reason it's a spinner belt is the center spins. Anyway, and this is a heavy belt. I bought this from Goodwill, and I got a deal on it that I couldn't beat. I think I paid, if I'm not mistaken, $60 for it. If you were to buy that belt on WWE, you would pay at least $200 for it. So I got this idea, since I have a wrestling promotion, I'm going to start buying wrestling memorabilia. And I have bought a couple belts for my promotion, but I don't need all those belts. Only a couple of them I need. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little table there, and I'm going to sell them to the people that come in. Now, that's what leads me to the next thing. I bought this lot of WWF memorabilia, and some of it's WCW memorabilia. One of it is a signed Roddy Piper picture. And it's not a picture, it's a heavy picture. And I found it on eBay for $500. I think I could sell that for a couple $100. And I bought the whole box, 70 pieces, for $70 plus shipping. Came out to $100 altogether. But and then there's little action figures. There's playing cards, WWE, like playing cards, baseball cards like that, and stuff like that. Some of those are worth some money too, because some of them are old. Most of them aren't worth too much. They're worth $1 or $2. But it's just kind of cool because I can sell that stuff at the shows, and if I lose money on the show, I can make it back up on my table. So
Good idea.
yeah, and since it's not costing me too much money for the stuff, I got, the belts cost me, some of the belts cost a little money, but I'm not going to sell the ones that cost a lot of money because they're going to be used for our promotion. But some of the ones I think will be worth selling. So we'll see what happens, see if we can make some money somewhere in this great business of mine. All right. Let's see. Let's get this thing going now. I wanted to talk about, we talked about Inside Out, the movie Inside Out 2. It becomes the first animated film to hit $1 billion at the international box office. Now, obviously, they aren't the first one to hit $1 billion, but they're the first one to hit $1 billion internationally. So that's a pretty good thing for a movie that I think the first one did like 240 million or something like that. This one ended up doing over $1 billion internationally. So that's pretty nice. Says here, Inside Out 2 has surpassed $1 billion at the international box office. One of 12 releases and the only animated film to ever cross the coveted milestone. Those 55 films have grossed $1 billion globally, which is comprised of domestic and international ticket sales. Just a dozen have managed to hit that benchmark from overseas markets alone, and 11 of those movies were live action. Walt Disney's 2019 The Lion King earned a staggering $1.1 billion internationally. The studios categorized the remake as live action rather than computer generated, so Inside Out 2 is technically the first animated film to join the coveted club. So that says there's some life left in in going to the movies yet. So Disney's got that one, and they got Wolverine. So they've got a couple of movies that are, making pretty good headway. So
And that happened in the summer too, when people have a lot of other options.
that's true too. Yeah. Well, there's usually a 2-month period where you can make money, but yeah, like you said, people are going on vacation and stuff, and so it's kind of neat. And so we got Tina, we got Anne, we have at least Christine, and there's some other people I think in the chat room too. I don't know who. I only know the people that talked. So, yeah, I found that interesting though that they did that well on it. So that's a good sign for the movie market. Then we've got Adam Epstein, Tony winner Tony winning Hairspray producer, died at 49. That's really young. Okay. Then we got, it's the Little League World Series. We're not scraping for news. It's just I found it interesting. You can watch it on TV for free, apparently. Just like baseball. Can you watch baseball for free now?
Yeah.
Okay, they didn't make it into a
There's
subscription.
still free TV.
Okay. All right. The Little League's premier youth baseball tournament, it's happening in Pennsylvania. Oh, that was August 15th. I don't know if it's still happening. I had that from... Okay.
No, I think
Now until the
championship
25th, yeah. It was up till the 25th. Yeah, that was I think that was from a couple weeks ago. I just didn't get to that particular article. Every once in a while we have things left over. Actually, lately we've had things left over because we talk a lot. Okay, this is an interesting article. You know who Cheryl Hines is?
Nope.
Okay. She shot to fame playing the beleaguered wife of Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm, and she's faced her share of real-life headaches as the wife of Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Now you know. Yes, I thought you did because we talked about this before, but I didn't mention her name. But the actress is about to face her biggest challenge yet after her husband suspended his campaign for president and threw his support to Donald Trump in a statement released shortly after her husband made his announcement. Hines tells us, "I deeply respect the decision that Bobby made to run the president, to run on the principle of unity." Seth Ambrovich writes that despite the show of unity, Kennedy's decision to align himself with Trump will make for, at best, some awkward dinner table conversation at home. At worst, it may result in full-scale shunning by Hines by the Hollywood establishment. So she has to worry about repercussions. So, yeah, kind of, that's the issues that you have when you have politics and actors in the house, I guess. We may see another article.
He was in good standing with Hollywood until You mean for president?
Yeah. Well, we may see the next week. We may see Cheryl Hines seeks a divorce. Lack of agreeing on politics, maybe.
Well, you talk about switches. Did you know that last month in July, Robert Kennedy called Trump a terrible human being, probably a sociopath, and engages in barely coherent barrage of words? That was in July.
It sounds accurate. What are you doing? Hold on. What are you doing over there?
And now he's
Stop.
going to be on his transition team and may become Secretary of Health.
Unless Elon says he wants that. Elon, Trump said he would consider Elon for any office he wants. So that's funny. Oh man, just a crazy world out there. Of course, if you're looking for a home, here's your next home. What? Do you want something besides to be a barker? If you're looking for, I know you're looking for a house. This could be your house. You ready?
Yes.
Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez's 24-bedroom Beverly Hills mansions for sale for $68 million.
That's pretty cheap.
Yep, Benifer. I guess they.
24 bedrooms.
Yeah. I think you could fit your family in that.
I think you could.
And you could never see them even in that house. So, stop it. Yeah, it's got a 12-car garage. It's got 5 acres. Tasteful stunner with open floor plans, mountain views, a large pool, and rather cool indoor sports complex that includes a state-of-the-art gym, a boxing ring, a pickleball court. Whew. That's crazy stuff. I don't know did they buy that before this, or did they already own that?
No, I think they bought it.
They only had that for them a couple months. Do you know what the tax bill is for that?
No, what is it?
$1,100 a day. A day. What's that all about? That's more than I pay for my house a year. That's more than, well, of course I own my house, but that's more than my house probably is worth a year. That's just insane.
People with money, they have no concept.
I'd like to know what that's like. That's it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to become a big star because I want to know what that feels like. It's only 38,000 square feet. Jeez. 38,000 square. I'm in, to give you an idea, I'm in 3,000 square feet. 10 times.
Well, when they decided to get a divorce, he didn't have to move out. He could just move to the other half of the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sure they have more than one kitchen and one dining room.
Yeah. That's, oh man, I just can't imagine. $68 million. 68 million. I don't know. Oh, there's a picture of it. Now we're talking. This is, I'm going to have to put my place up for sale. I got to buy this place. Jeez. I can see how that's 68,000 square feet. That freaking swimming pool, that thing looks bigger. If that's a swimming pool, that looks bigger than my house. Oh, man. Okay, I must be the next guys. Okay. So that's, oh, wow. Well, that shows you what it's, that's what the other side looks like. It's a bit cramped. Okay. It's a bit cramped for me, says Ann. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It don't have a fence, so I can't keep my dogs
Yeah, if
there.
that was a bed and breakfast, you could host a lot of people.
That's a lot of bed and a lot of breakfast. That's crazy. All right, next thing I have. I don't know if you heard about this or not. What? Stop it. If you're going to start growling, I'm going to kick you out. I said I'm going to kick you out. I said I'm going to kick you out. Oh, dog has an attitude. Let's see here. Where are we at here? Then the next thing, let me get rid of some of these open windows here. Get rid of that. Get rid of this. All right. Oops. Get rid of that. Oh, have a game. All right, so last week we had Alpha, Sika, Greg Kinn, Jack Russell, Phil Donahue. Who was the other one? Phil Donahue. Was another talk show guy. Phil Donahue, and then who was somebody else? I probably don't have him anymore. Obviously. Oh, Wally, Famous Amos. But I thought we had somebody else. Peter Marshall and Phil Donahue. Okay, yeah. Okay. Of those people, who do you think got the most listens?
Oh man!
And to be honest with you,
Phil Donahue.
To be honest with you, I'm not sure that I remember who it is. So we're gonna look. I don't know who it is because I forget. Let's see who it is. I think it was. I want to say Sika, which was really odd because I would have thought Alpha would get more than Sika. Let's see who it is. What was I? Which one is it? My videos. There it is. All right, let's see. Come on, you can do it. Oh, come on, be a little faster. Okay, there we go. All right, we got the Wild Samoans. Oh yeah, the Wild Samoans as a whole got 15. 37 was Sika, and Alpha was 33. And the next one up was that 10? No, next one was the Wild Samoans. So yeah, it's funny because you look here and you see some of these, like this one here, Benji is now up to 30, almost 3,300. Then you look up to the one that I have from Bray Wyatt, and he's like at, I don't know, 32,000. It's really weird. Some of the things that people watch and some of the things that you would expect to do really well. Like Kevin Sullivan got 380. He's way ahead, and he's only a week different, or maybe 2 weeks different. He's way ahead of them. But then you look at people like Shannon Doherty. She only got 347. Richard Simmons only got 285. You know, these.
See, that surprises me.
Yeah, I mean, there's no rhyme or reason for some of these people.
Richard Simmons is a well known.
Yeah. David Sanborn got 512.
That's
OJ got 330. 339 for Ole Anderson. So, like, there's no rhyme or reason for some of these people. Because, like, sometimes you think, oh, well, maybe because I got a wrestling fan base. Well, apparently not, because there's a lot of wrestlers that haven't gotten their fair share of stuff. So, I just thought it was kind of interesting to see what some of the people are doing. Cookie Guy. Yes, the Cookie Guy would have been, I thought he would have done better. I really kind of thought that Famous Amos would have done better, but he didn't. He didn't do very well. So, all right, let's see here. Where are we? Okay, back to entertainment. Okay, so the reason I brought it up was Mariah Carey. Have you heard about Mariah Carey?
Mariah Carey, her mother and...
You got it. Sister
died.
Yeah, what a weird thing. The same weekend. Yeah, the same day. It was kind of weird. I wouldn't know how to think about that. I mean, geez, to lose two people on the same day. That's really strange. Mariah Carey shared on Monday that her mother and sister died on the same day last weekend. My heart's broken, and I've lost my mother this past weekend. Sadly, in a tragic turn of events, my sister lost her life on the same day. I feel blessed that I was able to spend the last week with my mom before she passed. I appreciate the love and support and respect for my privacy during this impossible time. She doesn't. We didn't. She doesn't. They don't say what killed either of them, but that's really sad. What a weird thing to happen.
She said she talked about an unexpected circumstance.
Yeah,
So that might have been an accident.
it might be. Maybe they were they together? Which they didn't even. I don't.
No, I think Mom was probably in bed.
Oh, to me that's a rough one there. Here's another impossibility that I didn't ever see coming. Noel and Liam Gallagher are gonna reform Oasis. Those guys fight all the time.
Yeah, I read that today.
I find that really strange that they are actually going. I guess maybe they decided.
They hate each other.
Yeah, they probably decided that the money is worth more than their hate.
Well, they're looking at all these other legacy bands out there making money. And
I used to do an Oasis song. I don't remember what it was called, but I used to do one. I did it in the 90s. Ken and I used to do it. Don't remember which one. But they have some good songs. They could be a great band if they were to keep their act together and keep their egos in check. It's kind of a shame that they can't do that.
it's usually what it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, usually it's my fault in the band that I'm in, but sadly. But,
Well, we all know you're egotistical.
well, I was in
It's
the
part of your charm.
I was in the 90s, or in the 80s, I should say. I did have ego problems in the 80s because, I thought that was what you were supposed to do. And I truly would have had the Mike Trash and the Barking Rats band much longer if my ego was in check. And it's one of my biggest regrets because that band was really good and really fun, and a lot of things might have happened for the better if I had just got my act together.
Speaking of bands, how's it going with your current one?
I got some. I'm gonna have to get you the links. I got some really, really good stuff. I'm playing harmonica on Roadhouse Blues.
Okay.
I'm learning harmonica. I only played it once so far, and I played it 25% right. So I was practicing
Small steps, Michael.
Hey, considering I never played an instrument in my whole band career, that's a start. So it'll be better. I'm learning it, so I just got to learn a little bit better. I think I was trying to play too much because I thought, well, because I've never played lead, so it's kind of interesting for me. It's a new challenge for me. So I think I'll be okay. I just got to play and practice and stuff like that, and play a little less. I think I was trying to do too much. So last night I was doing a little bit of stuff, and I was also listening to people that teach harmonica to try to understand technique. So I think it'll be okay. It's scary, but I prefer to be in the background with that. I prefer to be just the vocalist, but I think I'll be okay. All right, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is coming out, and apparently Keanu Reeves is going to be involved in that. So, I saw Sonic the Hedgehog 1, and I liked it. I never saw 2 yet. I should have seen it by now, but I just have been busy. And so now they're coming out with 3. Reeves' voice is the new antagonist to Ben Schwartz's Sonic. Someone I actually want to say something about is I like Keanu Reeves, and there's There's something that I like about him that is different from a lot of the people that I like. He is, of course, a musician. He's an actor. But I think the part I like about him most is he's an animal lover. And he also is his attitude about life is, it aligns with mine. He doesn't take things overly seriously, but he knows when to be serious. And he is, I'm trying to think what the type personality. He's not an alpha male, he's a sigma male. And if you know anything about sigma males, I'm kind of like a sigma male myself, in that when it comes to being right, I don't care. I don't care if you think I'm wrong. I don't care if you think I'm right. I don't have anything to prove to you. You can try to prove everything to me, but it doesn't matter because I believe what I believe, and that's the way it is. And I'm not going to argue with you over it. I'm just going to just let you say what you want. And there's a lot of stuff on YouTube about sigma males, and I determined that I'm a sigma male after a lot of research on it. So I'm pretty. He's like a sigma male too. He is a sigma male. In fact, I use him for this is what a sigma male is like, and I started really evaluating myself, and I thought, that's kind of like what I am too. Like, and it doesn't matter if you think you're right 100%, or it's like being pro-Trump, or pro-Harris. You can talk to your blue in the face. You're not going to convince me that they're right. I already know what I think, and that's it. That's it. So it's something that, but I really think a lot. Since I learned that of him, I've liked him a lot more because I understand him more than I did before.
A kindred spirit.
Yes, and plus he comes to Pennsylvania. His band has toured in Pennsylvania, and he was in Lancaster at the malls there, and he was just shopping. So he's like just a regular guy. He just happens to be an actor and a musician. He and I have that in common too, except he's really successful at it. But
Give it time.
I am. I'm working really hard to make it happen. All right, next one. Okay, this is interesting. Christopher Reeve. There's a documentary on him. It's a paralyzed life chronicled in the Superman doc trailer. The Man of Steel, who starred in 4 franchise movies in a documentary, recalls becoming an advocate for spinal cord research in a film from the McQueen directors to hit theaters September 21st. Here we have this man who was the Man of Steel, who was in great shape and everything, and because of a horse accident, becomes paralyzed for the rest of his life. That is an eye-opener to anybody that thinks that things can't happen to them. To think that you one day are, all together and have the world at your feet. Next day you're stuck in a wheelchair for the rest of your life. And he didn't give up, The guy really pressed on and did what he could do to live his life. And his family didn't leave him either. That's really cool. Here it says, I think a hero is an ordinary individual who finds strength to persevere and endure in spite of overcoming the obstacles. Reeve, who died in 2004 at the age of 52, says at one point in the film teaser about the iconic Hollywood star who played the Man of Steel in 4 Superman franchise movies, before a near-fatal horse riding accident in '95 left him paralyzed from the neck down. So that's from, what was it, 2004. So he spent 9 years, paralyzed. So I found that very interesting. Despite becoming a quadriplegic, the documentary shows Reeves overcoming earlier doubts about continuing to live, lifted by the strength of the family and friends behind him, devoted his life to discovering a cure for spinal cord injuries and advocating for disability rights and care. So that was his calling, And I don't know if you know this or not. We may have talked about this at one point, but we haven't talked about it recently. Elon Musk's company is working on a solution to tap into paraplegics. I've seen he didn't do it. His people put something in the brain, and it was like they cut out a piece of the skull, and they put this thing in, and they have it so that it's working okay, but it's not working the way they want it to. But the guy is able to control the mouse on the computer screen with his brain. I love that. I love that we've gotten that far. I never thought we'd see the day that we could do something like that. And they're getting closer and closer. So I think it's awesome.
Musk is a multifaceted man.
Very, very. And he has a lot of really good ideas. He's working on, I probably didn't talk about this because I think I heard about this after our show last week. He's got a new idea. Well, it's not a new idea for the world. It's a new idea for him, having hydrogen cars. Now, we may have talked about hydrogen cars in the past. It's a great plan, but hydrogen cars have the same issue that electric cars had, and that is, where do you get the hydrogen? And California had hydrogen stations, half of which are broken all the time. Musk wants to do the hydrogen thing because you can take a hydrogen car and fill it up with hydrogen at about the same speed you fill your car with gas. And you'll get more performance. You'll get performance like an electric car, but you'll get distance actually better than a gas car. And so the only problem is no places to charge. He wants to put hydrogen stations next to his electric stations. So
And give people a choice.
Yep. So he truly does believe that in saving the planet.
Yeah.
And he really does feel a commitment to going where no one's gone before, because, man, that's to me, I remember back in 2018 when I was looking at buying a brand new car, I was looking at hydrogen. And I thought, how cool would that be to have a hydrogen car? Because you realize the emissions from a hydrogen car are water. There's no residue left there. And the car, I didn't realize it had the power like an electric car did. But that makes me excited that is going to be an alternative, because I would buy a hydrogen car. It would probably be, they're saying it would be, the Toyota hydrogen car came out to about $40,000. So you're even in an affordable car, because your basic car is you're going to pay $30,000-$40,000 for it anyway. So if you get a good car like that, why wouldn't you get a hydrogen car? Except that you want to burn through fossil fuels. It is an alternative. So I thought that was interesting. In fact, I got another thing on Elon too, and we just talked about it, so I want to bring up that. Here it is. Apparently there was they called it extended spacecation. What is the International Space Station grades 5 through 8? Wait a minute, that's not what I wanted, is it? Oh, hold on. I did it wrong. Which one is it? Must be this one. 2 astronauts are stranded on the International Space Station. NASA decides to keep the 2 astronauts in space until February. Then nixes return on troubled Boeing capsule. That's not good for Boeing. They don't seem to be doing their job.
Boeing is in debt billions and billions of dollars on this storyline.
Oh, they majorly messed up here. NASA decided Saturday it's too risky to bring the 2 astronauts back to Earth in Boeing's troubled new capsule. They'll have to wait until next year for a ride home with SpaceX. What should have been a week-long test flight for the pair is now going to last more than 8 months. It's good that they have the space station is got stocked with food and water and air. Seasoned pilots have been stuck in the International Space Station since the beginning of June. A cascade of vexing thruster failures and helium leaks in the new capsule. I wouldn't want in that capsule. Are you kidding me? I don't think I don't even want to fly in any of their airplanes now. Jeez, that's just crazy stuff. But yeah, after 3 months, the decision was made from NASA. Hey, dog, Winston. I heard you over there. I don't know what you're doing, but you're noisy. There he is. What are you doing? I'll tell you what. You made it clear that you want a treat, and you're going to be in trouble unless you get a treat. So I'm going to give you a treat. This dog, I swear. If he could talk, I'd make him wear a headset or something. You know, Cheyenne's not down here. So what are you bugging me for? That dog's a trip. Anyway, so Elon comes to the rescue, so that makes him look really good too.
Well, the Crew Dragon is going up in February, March. And, you know, there's another thing. They have to get a whole new spacesuit made.
Really?
Because the spacesuit for the Starliner is made for the Starliner.
Oh.
They're coming back on the Crew Dragon. They have to have a Crew Dragon spacesuit.
Oh. I'm sure they'll have one by then. They can.
Also,
all they got to do is
they
call.
get specialty food. They have to have specialty food and clothing shipped up to them.
I think Amazon could do that.
Amazon. That's what it is. Musk has taken over Amazon.
That's right. That's
international deliveries.
This does not look good for Boeing at all. I mean, they
between this and their airplane division,
yeah.
Their stock must be in the toilet.
Oh, let's find out. I am curious now that you mentioned it. Let's see what the stock sitting at. What's the stock sitting at? Boeing. Oh, Boeing stock. There it is. Ooh, well, it's down a little. Let's see what it used to be at its 52-week high is 267.54. That's actually compared to, let me see, is this it? Is this the stock? Yeah, Tesla stock. Oh, Tesla's been dragging between 180 and 2.25. But that's because their stock is down, and I think stocks are down in general because of the election. I think a lot of people are afraid to spend, a lot of people, because this stock was originally around 300, and it's dropped down as low as probably $1.50. So that scares me a little bit, especially since I own so much of it.
Have you heard about one of the policies that Kamala wants to put into place?
What's that?
It is that unrealized capital gains.
Okay.
So let's say you bought your house for $300,000.
Right.
And next year it's worth $350,000.
Okay. Okay.
You have to pay tax on that $50,000 whether you sell the house or not.
Oh, no, I hope not. I pay enough taxes already when they reassess my. I do pay taxes when they reassess my property, and I hate when they do that because they say it's worth a
But
lot.
you'll be doing that with stock, Mike. Let's say Tesla takes a jump.
Yeah, you
You're
don't.
gonna have to pay tax.
I don't want to do that. No.
You're gonna have to pay tax on the capital gain, even though you don't sell it.
See, at
You
that
don't
point, there's
realize
no
the
point.
capital gain.
See, they're going to cause the stock market to go and flip flop.
Hmm.
People are not going to. They're going to say, well, if I got to pay tax on it, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to sell it when it's high and wait for it to drop low again. If I got to pay taxes, or else I'll just get out of it altogether. The reason I put money into stocks is I plan on leaving it there so that it grows. Not that
Yeah,
means
long-term investment.
that means what happens if it drops? Do we get money back? That's what I'm saying. I mean, there's no incentive to be in
the
stocks.
government giving money back.
Yeah, I mean,
Rebating.
well, if you're a Democrat, you'll give it back to us. You'll give it back to us in one way or another. And then they'll raise our food prices and stuff too, or they'll raise our gas prices. But anyway, so oh yeah, Tesla among Morgan Stanley's highest conviction stocks is Tesla. That's good. I am with Morgan Stanley, and so that's got to be where my money's coming from. Tesla stock falls Tuesday, underperforms market. See, but the thing is, they're the only company making money in EVs. So nobody ever thinks about that. They think, oh, they didn't make their numbers. They didn't make the 40 billion they said they were going to make. They only made 38 billion, so they underperformed. They aren't talking about what's the real thing about this. So anyway, all right, enough of that. That was the two Elon stories I had. All right, what else we got here? All right, here we go. Oh, here's one I found interesting. Judge halts Biden's administrative policy offering permanent residency to certain immigrants without legal status in U.S. who are married to U.S. citizens. What do you think of that?
Well, it used to be, or it currently is, that the wife would have to leave the country
Oh,
before she could come back as
Okay.
legal and he wants to eliminate that step.
so that if you marry a United States citizen, guess what? Cammie, Lou Albano's granddaughter just wished me a happy birthday. She does that every year. I love her because, I worked with her grandfather back in the 2000 early 2000s, and he was as crazy as I thought he was. He was really crazy. That isn't an act. Anyway, so if I married a Mexican woman or an illegal immigrant, let's not say,
She would have to leave the country and come back in.
and she'd have to come in legally.
She'd have to come in legal.
So instead of doing that, he's going to say, okay, you don't have to go back and come back.
He wants to make it easier for couples to be together. In principle, I don't find that
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
It's just, but it's the loophole is now Mexican women, Honduran women, Colombian women are just going to come here and get married.
Yeah.
And
How do
get
you
legal status immediately?
right? How do you combat that? Well, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, I don't have a problem with if it's real marriage. If it's a fake marriage, and how do you tell? How do you tell? Do you give them a test? It's like that's a
Well, this happens all the time with foreign women.
yeah. I
A
mean,
woman comes over here, lives with them for 6 months.
there was a guy. There was
gets
actually
legalized status and then leaves.
yeah. There's Ken's stepbrother brought over a Nigerian woman. She was hot. She was really hot. She was like 29. He was like 66. You knew right away. I mean, I knew right away. He thought it was permanent, but he was a jerk, and I knew it wasn't going to last because he's a jerk. She was with him for a year. Now she's in Texas. So I do believe, honestly, that she may have thought that he was an okay guy, because you can always hide that for a short period of time, but he was such a jerk, I knew it wasn't going to last.
Other than money, what does a 29-year-old want to do with a 66-year-old?
Right. Well, I don't know. Maybe she likes old guys.
True.
I don't know.
I don't know too many 29-year-olds that want to mess around with a 60-year-old guy.
Same here, but my acting teacher's 67. His wife is in her early 40s. And they're a great couple. They are a great couple. I love both of
I'm
those.
sure it happened.
Yeah, it does happen, but she's not 30. You know, I don't think I could see myself with anyone that was in their 30s, because, you know, what happened to me was really, it's when I went out with I was living with this girl, well, she was living with me for a while. I was living with this girl. She had 2 kids. They were 9 and 6 when we met. They were 12 and whatever, 9, 10. They were, 9 and 12 when we broke up the first time. And every time when I think about that, even when I was 40, I was thinking, how old would she be today? I thought, oh, she would be legal. And then when I'm thinking, oh, man, I'm 50, I'm thinking, how would she be then? And I'm thinking, oh, she would be, like this one girl that I wanted to date was like, well, not then because I was married, but I mean, the whole time, whenever I would think about seeing some two together, I would think, wonder how old Laura would be right now. And I thought, oh, you know, it's just like, and it's not that Laura's an ugly girl. She's not. It's just the age difference, and I keep going back to that when she was 12, and I'm like, oh, you know, just, I don't know how people do that, because I can't take that image out of my mind.
Well, when I went to Patty's house for the first time, her mom showed me a picture of her when she was in 3rd grade. And I was a senior. I wanted to go down to Hershey, to Gary Township, and turn myself in for child molestation.
Yeah, I didn't know there was that much of a difference between you two.
9 years.
It is there? Oh.
Yep, 9 years difference. I mean, in actuality, it doesn't make a difference. When you start thinking about what it would have been in school.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's the thing. My head keeps going back to that. And I don't know. But anyway, all right. So, well, that's the thing. The situation is as it is now. That I don't know how I feel about this. And if they were all legit, if there was a way to tell that they were legit, that they were actually, I mean, if they lived together for a couple years, I guess, versus 6 months or whatever it is. I don't know. It's just it's rough for me to think that stuff through, but I don't know how I think about that. All right, I said the Oasis thing. Oh, how about this NFL change? Did you hear about it?
No.
NFL rosters must be cut down to 53 players by 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the latest cuts for all 32 franchises. There we go. NFL roster cuts tracker 2024, full list team by team cuts for all 32 clubs after deadline passes. So I don't really.
Every year we go through this.
Okay, do we? Okay.
So you come in with 90 players for a training camp.
Okay.
And at the end of the last preseason game, the next Tuesday, At 4 p.m., you have to be down to 53.
Oh,
And then you can begin signing 16 players for your practice squad.
okay. Okay, so this is not an unusual thing.
No, it's not an unusual
Okay,
thing.
all right.
Happens every year.
All right, I thought this sounded weird. How about this? Dallas Cowboys are set to sign wide receiver CeCe Lamb for a 4-year deal, $136 million. He could buy.
They overpaid.
He could
They
buy.
overpaid.
He could buy Jennifer Lopez's house.
Well, had money left over.
Oh yeah, he could buy 2 of them. He could buy. How much was it? 68 million. Yeah, he could buy 2 of those. He could buy he could pay for the taxes. What was it? $1 million a day or something? Oh,
Love it.
that's. I can't even. I just can't even imagine that kind of money. That kind of money, I just like $136 million. But that's not. Oh, that's a 4-year deal though. He doesn't get that all up front.
No, it's
He gets that over 4.
He'll
Oh, he
get
can't
some
afford it.
upfront.
That means
He'll get a signing bonus.
okay. So he can't buy their.
Couple.
He probably can't buy their house yet.
No.
It'll probably be off the market by the time. I mean, that's
Unless he goes to Jerry Jones and asks him for a loan, no, he can't buy it.
that's a hot price. That's not going to be on the market long at that price. I mean, that's
Steal.
oh, it's a steal already.
Probably 1 million people lined up right now to buy it.
Oh, easily. I couldn't call. My agent couldn't get a hold of them. Okay, next thing. All right. In the history books, the Krakatoa volcano eruption is among the largest recorded in recorded history. It killed 40,000 people in 1883. President Lyndon B. Johnson was born in 1908. The Guinness Book of World Records first published in 1955. Socialist and civil rights activist W.E.B. Du Bois died in 1963. And Grace Allen, American vaudeville, died in 1964. All stuff you were just really on your edge of your seat to think about. Let's see here. What else we got going here? We're actually going to make it to the non-entertainment section, which hasn't been happening lately because we've been talking about so much. What were some of the? We talked about some of the stuff you said, right?
Yeah, we talked about 2.
2 of them.
The Starliner and Kennedy.
What was the other one?
The only other thing is yesterday, I believe it was yesterday, Trump put a wreath at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier
Okay.
for the people that died in Afghanistan.
Oh yeah.
Biden pulled out. So it was the anniversary. And what I have is some statistics on the way women are being treated
Okay.
in Afghanistan in the 3 years since we pulled out.
Okay. What do you got?
So when you're ready for it,
I am ready.
okay, let me get your stat. In 2020, 27% of Afghan civil servants were women. 16% of them were in senior management.
Okay.
27% of Afghan members of parliament were women. And 6.5% of women were in ministerial positions, which is in the high ranking in the government.
Okay.
Women are now barred from education after the grade of 6. They cannot speak in public and cannot be seen by other men.
Oh.
The punishments will range all the way from advice to jailings and then other punishments deemed appropriate by the courts.
Wow. Wow.
They have turned back the tide on women in Afghanistan.
Yes. Wow. There's Marsa. Hi, Marsa. There's Ashley is in the chat room. Let's see, did I miss anybody else? I didn't miss anybody else. Okay. Yeah, that's. I mean, geez. Can you? You know. Americans are really opposite of that by so many different ways. We want to see the women as naked as we possibly can. They want to see them all clothed.
They are a temptation to men, and so only their husbands can see them as they really are.
And of course, if you're gay over there, you're really messed up because you can't even, portray yourself.
You are the favorite form of punishment for a homosexual is being thrown off a 3-story building.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's a short punishment. At least you're not being like tortured over periods of time.
No, but the bottom of that fall is pretty hard.
Yeah, well, it's only a sudden stop. Doesn't
One
hurt.
sudden stop.
Yeah. But yeah, phew. That's really crazy stuff.
And there's gays for Hamas.
Okay.
Hamas tortures its gays.
Why would you be in that?
Well, there are some sicknesses, Michael, that are unexplainable.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I can't even fathom. I just don't know. That's just too weird for me. I don't know. Okay. Comedy Central has a new show coming out called Everybody Still Hates Chris. It reveals a first look and premiere date. If you like the show Everybody Hates Chris, that's probably a sequel of some sort. Let's see. Jeremy Allen White hangs by the pool in Calvin Klein underwear in back-to-school campaign images. I don't know who Jeremy Allen White is. Ooh. Okay. Nicole Spierling Apple rethinks its movie strategy after a string of misses. Wolf's, a new film by George Clooney and Brad Pitt, was going to get a robust theatrical release, but the company is curtailing the plan. Okay. Create a free account or law. I don't even know if I have an account with you guys. Guess we'll see. Never actually went to, New York Times. Okay. That's probably a charge thing. I've never used their stuff because I thought it was charging, and I somehow got one of their articles. You gonna let me in or not? All right. What's going on here? Continue. Guess while that's continuing, I didn't talk about the shoot. I talked to you off the air about the shoot. I didn't talk about it on the air, right?
No, yeah. No.
Okay. All right, there we go. Do I have access? No, it says subscribe now. Continue without subscribing. Okay. Let me have that article. Darn it. Try this again. Okay, I'm in. Okay, good. It says, when Apple won a bidding war in 2021 over the rights to make the action comedy Wolves with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, it did so because it was promised the stars would put the movie into a large number of theaters. Brad and I made a deal that if we do a movie, we gave our money back to make sure we would have a theatrical release. But this month, 6 weeks before the film was set to show up in the thousands of theaters around the United States, Apple announced a significant change in plans. Wolves will now be shown on a limited number of movie screens for 1 week and then becoming available in its streaming service. it's interesting. I don't have Apple TV, but this is really strange. Okay, so I have Comcast. Comcast is offering us a deal for Netflix, Apple TV, Peacock, and about, I don't know, 20 channels, give or take, for like $20, which is a steal if you watch.
Netflix itself.
Yeah. So
pays for Netflix.
I'm probably going to get it, but I thought I would cancel my other service because this is only a cable, or this is only a streaming service. This is not cable TV. In other words, everybody's moving away from cable TV because they don't want to pay for the boxes, and you can use a Roku box or you can use an Android box to get your channels. I can get all my channels.
Fire TV.
Right, you can get with. I don't know if you. I guess you can probably do it on Fire TV too. But the thing is, Comcast and cable companies are looking to get out of the box business because they have to worry about the servicing of the boxes and all that stuff, and they can do it all. A lot of people have given up. I've been streaming TV for years, but I still have a TiVo. I use my TiVo all the time. Well, not all the time, but not as much as I used to. But you can actually record your TV to their web service too, as part of your thing. So like I can record, like say for instance, I like American Ninja Warrior. It records Monday, but it's also on the same time as Raw. So I watch one and I watch the other one. It's recorded, and I record it on their service, and I don't pay for recording. I don't pay for space. So, oh, look, I got Nietzsche there too. How you doing, Nietzsche? But how about 19th, 8 p.m.? I don't know. I don't know what the 19th is. I'd have to look at it after the show. He's been trying to interview me for a TV show or a radio show he does called Hometown Heroes. He's been trying to interview me for about 3 years. A big part.
You just blew him, hey Michael, you just blew him off again on live.
Well, you know, the thing is, he's probably my oldest fan of my show because he goes back to 2004, I think. So he's been listening to the show for most of the time I've had the show. And
he still wants to interview.
Yeah, well, it might be a pity case. He might be pitying me, so I don't know. But anyway, he's a good friend too. I did a show in Connecticut, and he showed up because that's where he lives. He showed up in Connecticut, so that was kind of fun to actually meet him in person instead of always talking to him, you know, via chat and stuff. But yeah, he's a good guy. Anyway, regardless. So the thing about this is I don't have Apple TV yet, but if I do that service, I get Apple TV with it. And you could get it on your phone. You can watch it wherever you're at. And that's what the point is. A lot of people want to stream on their phone. And this is another way you can do it. But it would save me a ton of money. I have Netflix, but I can cancel the Netflix because it'd be included in this little package. And so there's no reason not to do it except stupidity, you know, because you're already using the service and you get stuff. But the reason I'm wavering is that I like Max because Max has some really cool programs on it. Now I could pay $15 or whatever it is a month to get Max, then I'd still have it. And there's a handful of programming that I still wouldn't mind having. And little by little, we're going to the way that I thought we would go a long time ago. I kind of figured, the thing is, you look at your cable system, and for you to get everything that they have to offer, for us, it's around $225 a month, give or take. That's for everything. But do I watch every channel on that? I thought to myself, well, a long time ago, I said, it'd be cool if we could get it a la carte, get what you want, things you would actually use. like USA and maybe History Channel, and you only use really a handful of channels, maybe 10.
Yeah, but see, that's not a viable.
But that's what they're going towards.
But that's what they're going towards now. But it wasn't viable before because
Right. And-
who would pay for the history? How many people would actually pay for the History Channel?
But if the History, I wouldn't mind paying for the History Channel if it were, well, the History Channel has Skinwalker Ranch. It has the new one I'm watching, the Oak Island. And it does have a handful of shows that's really good, but you're right. Who would pay for it? Well, I would pay for it if the price were right, if it weren't a package that I have to pay $200 for. It was a package that I could get all the stations that I watch for $50. Probably 10. Probably 10, 12, 15 channels. Maybe. I don't even think it's that many. And that I would pay. I would pay more per channel if I could get exactly what I wanted and got rid of the garbage. Because I never watched the Woman's Channel, whatever that is, the Lifetime. You know,
Lifetime,
but that's
Oxygen.
yeah, that's included. Oxygen I might watch because I might be on that because there is some things that I auditioned for Oxygen. But but I want to hand pick my stuff. I was thinking about it today because there are so many streaming platforms out there now that you're going to always be able to find something that's worth watching depending what your interests are. And there's so much garbage out there. And the stuff I'm finding when I audition is that there are so many channels that I haven't even heard of that are coming out of the woodworks. And there's so many streaming, there's Netflix. Netflix is going to have Raw next year. That's the first time that it's had a live wrestling product. And then SmackDown is moving to USA because they have a slot in USA then. Now they're on Sci-Fi, I think. And then, there's so many different streaming platforms out there now that there are tons of choice. There's so much work out there for actors now because there is a lot of things that you can get. The entertainment industry is going crazy because everybody wants fresh material. There is no longer, remember when we were kids, there was the fall watching season and everything was reruns during the summer. It's not that way anymore.
Do you remember what happened when the TV Guide came out? Everybody just devoured it for when the shows were coming on.
Yeah, and the thing is, during the summer they didn't have anything to put in it because it was all reruns. And now you look and like I'm watching this the Oak Island thing. I'm binge watching it. You couldn't do that when we were kids because there was nowhere to binge watch. It's really cool that you can do this, and it's and there's never a lull for entertainment. If you really want to be finding entertainment, and how many times have I spent nights on YouTube just stumbling across things here and there, and then I learned something new about something. I mean, that's how I got into Skinwalker Ranch. I saw a video about Skinwalker Ranch. I said, "What is this?" And I just watched it because we were talking about aliens in one night, and then all of a sudden I got addicted to that stupid thing. The thing is, there's anything you want to watch, there is some kind of program out there about that. And if there isn't, somebody's going to make one because somebody will see a hole there.
And there's a niche for everything.
Yeah. So
one of the things about Apple is that they spend money on their production.
Yes, they don't have as many
they
productions.
Don't produce a lot.
Right.
They don't produce a lot.
But they're quality.
They produce them well.
Yeah. There's a couple things on Apple I'd like to watch. One thing I did watch on Apple, even though I don't have Apple, I have a way to see Apple, was that thing on the Monster Factory. That's where we're going to have our next event. I wanted to see what that was all about. I mean, I knew what it was, but I didn't know any of the players in that. And now I see that some of the two people, the main people in charge of it, are people that I've known. One of them was the co-host of this radio show at one time. she is one of the people, the main people at the Monster Factory. Her name is Missy Sampson. She was, she used to be on this show for a while, for a couple of years, and Danny Cage. I think we didn't work together. I knew him for somehow I know him, but I think we may have worked together, and so it's funny, even though I haven't seen him I haven't seen her in a good 15, 20 years. I haven't seen him, if I have seen him, I haven't seen him in at least that time. So it's really interesting to see those names pop up. And then the one student of that is on our show, is on our wrestling show next show. So it's funny to watch where she came from because she was trained there. So it's really cool to see that. That's fun to see that stuff. Oh, you're still here. I wasn't sure. You were being quiet for a second.
Well, Mike, I don't have cable, but to get the network channels, I have to pay $80 for YouTube TV.
Okay.
Give me about 70, 80 channels.
Look at Sling.
About $80.
Look at Sling. Sling is also
Sling.
Sling is cheaper, and they have two packages, an orange package and I want to say blue package. One's geared towards sports, one's geared towards other things. They're a little cheaper. Depending what channels you're looking for, there are possibly other solutions for that too. So I actually almost went to Sling TV, and then I stuck with Comcast. I probably shouldn't have, but I did. But Comcast overall takes care of me. But I kind of really think that I'm going to drop their cable situation and only stream. Because USA doesn't come in right. It comes in if I stream it, doesn't come in on the box right. So I don't know. That's one of the reasons they want to get out of the business, because they don't want to have to worry about the maintenance of the equipment. And the other reasons, they own NBC. They own all what's the other thing? NBC, USA, and all those. They own all of that, and Discovery and all that stuff. So they can make it dirt cheap because they own it. They can set their own prices. So they can drop down to that $30 price or $20, whatever that price was. And they can actually still make money on it. And then they get quantities of people. They get their subscription up the way they want it to be, and they're still making lots of money then. So it doesn't cost them any more money because they own the product. So, and they still make money off of the other cable companies that want NBC products. So they've got a good thing going there. So they should use that good thing. So I think it's a smart move for them, because people will move away from, won't be as quick to move to satellite. They won't be as quick to move to other services like Verizon and stuff like that, because Comcast can give it to them cheaper. So it's kind of like cheating when you think about it, when they own all this stuff. And I would imagine there's going to be legislation that's going to stop that from happening too.
Probably. Well, I have Verizon Internet, and everything comes in over the Internet. I don't have cable.
Yes. See, that's the way people are going. That's the way that it's going to be in the next couple of years. We're not going to have cable boxes where that's what they want us to do. They want us to move away from those boxes because they have better control. They can tell what you're watching. So then you got to have a VPN so they don't watch us. They don't pay attention. I mean, not that I'm doing anything illegal, but I don't care. I don't want them to see what I'm doing. So I guess let's talk about last week I showed the videos of me auditioning for the rocker that wants to get the band back together. Then they changed the script and had me do this guy that they're having band practice, and he says, where's the bass player? He's not here, and all that stuff. And that was the second script. Now they're on to a third script, and I'm now going to be I'm already the lead, but now they eliminated the second lead. There was going to be two leads. It was going to be me trying to put the band back together, and him trying to be the voice of reason. Now I'm going to be the voice of reason, which is going to be interesting because he's not going to be happy that he's not the guy. He's not going to be happy when they tell him that I'm the guy now. And I had nothing to do with it. They just rewrote the script, and they're supposed to send me a copy of the script tomorrow. And I actually got the part for you people that didn't know that. So I'm coming up to Rhode Island, Nietzsche. So maybe Friday night, after I'm done, we can have dinner. So if you're still in the room, if you're not, we're not going to have dinner. So there. But anyway, it'd be kind of cool to I'm going to go up there. I'm leaving here Thursday at midnight, and I'm going to drive all night. I got to be there for 8 o'clock call time. I figure I'll get in town about 6:30 or so. Then at least I'm giving myself a 2-hour window there just to be sure. And I figure I'll charge the car while I'm up there and get ready and go over my lines and stuff while I'm charging the car and be ready for them for 8 o'clock call time. And I'll do my stuff, and I don't know how long it's going to take, but I only had 2 lines. Now I'm going to have 4 lines, maybe 6, maybe 8. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever they end up coming up with. And then I'm done. However long it takes to do that commercial, and then I'm on my way home. So I'm excited about it because this is a lead. I'll have footage of it, so I'll show you guys what I did. I don't know when I'll get it, but I'll get, when it's done, I'll get a copy of everything. And I'll be able to use that for my professional reel. And so everyone can see me in a lead type thing. And I think that's going to be really good. That's exciting. So little by little, I'm putting it together, putting all the pieces of the puzzle, and I'm excited. It's getting closer and closer to being real. This is the first commercial that I've done that's professional. The other 2 commercials I did were called UGC, User Generated Content, and I got paid for those. But this one's going to be a professionally made, professional commercial that's going to go on the TV and play. It's regional, so it's not going to be really available to everybody, but it'll be great because I'll have good professional footage to put in my reel. And then I'll have a reel that I'm also working on that has a scene from Breaking Bad. No, I'm sorry, a scene from Better Call Saul, and then there'll be a scene from Sopranos, and hopefully that'll work out real good. And then there's the stuff I did last week where I was at that church. We did some things dealing with emotions, and I might use some of that stuff because that was some good stuff. So as soon as I get this reel done, I can get the agent I'm looking for, and who knows what's going to happen next. But I'm in line for the ride. I mean, the roller coaster has not yet started, but we'll see what happens. It's getting fun. So it's nice to actually be working on something and not looking all day. I mean, a lot of the times I spend a lot of time looking for work. If I had an agent, they would do that for me, and I could spend a lot more time on my craft rather than, But we do what we got to do, I never thought if you would ask.
Go ahead.
No, what were you going to ask?
How does an agent work, Mike? Do they take a cut
Yes.
of your earnings?
If I don't work,
nothing up front?
If I don't work, they don't get paid.
So they have the incentive to find you.
Yes. And I think it's 20%.
Okay.
Might be 10. I think it's 20 though. But who cares? 20% of $10,000 is better than all of the $500 I'm getting. They get better paying jobs. and we all win. The thing is, this job here, I'm going 6 hours, I'm getting $500. That's not even $100 an hour. But the thing is, I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it for the experience, and I'm doing it because $500 isn't the worst in the world. I mean, I see jobs for $20. I see jobs for free. Some people will do jobs for free just to get a part of the clips for their stuff. I drove to New York. I spent 5 days in New York. I got $187 a day minus taxes. So, so for 5 days in New York, $187 a day. That's not very good considering, I'm getting $500.
Now, are you considered a self-contractor?
Yes.
Self-employed?
Yes. So even the $100 I made, or I think I'm supposed to get like $200 for that Alzheimer's thing, but it was supposed to be $50 an hour, and I only, they told me it was going to be $200. Contract said $50 an hour. I only worked 2 hours, but I still billed them for 4. We'll see what happens. The thing for Virginia was, I don't know how much that was. I think it was only $100, but I didn't have to do much. I think I only billed them for $100. Sometimes you do it for the experience. Sometimes you do it for the footage. Sometimes you do it for just for something to do. But the things I'm doing now, I'm starting to get into doing things and being paid for them, and I'm getting better and better every time I do it. I made more this year than I've made all the other years combined. So this is good. I'm going in the right direction.
Yeah, sure.
And
it's better than the alternative.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the alternative is, I figured this out. I think I may have said this last week. July, I did band, so that's music. Beginning of August, I did the caregiver, so that was a lead role, and that was acting. Last week, I did model, and I did footage for another shoot, so I did modeling. And now I'm going to do acting. So it's really cool. I've kind of hit the whole thing. Hi there.
Say hello. You're on.
Oh,
They don't
hi.
they don't see you. They don't see you, but we do. You're out of camera. Hey, no problem. But so I actually did. I said I did the Triple Crown, but I actually did quad crown. So that's kind of cool. I did 4 different types of work in 2 months. So I covered all the
That's
things.
pretty cool.
Yeah. And, last year it was funny. Well, at the beginning of the year, I was thinking, man, it's March. I haven't even worked yet. I really suck at this. And it seems like the beginning of the year just doesn't seem to flow very well. But once I started rolling, I haven't stopped. It's been a good year. It's been a very interesting year. So, and I didn't even finish that one yet. The one is the one where I'm spewing out the lines from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, 16 through 18. That I haven't done yet. But I have learned it. I'm ready for him. Doggone it. He gave me enough time to learn those. He gave me enough time to learn it because I don't know where, he's in England or something right now. So we did shoot the first part of that, but I didn't have to know that stuff yet. And I was scared. I was thinking, oh, I can't do this. This whole learning stuff the way they said it back then is not for me. I need to be able to speak like a human, like a regular today 21st century person, not 18 or whatever century it was.
16, because that's when they did King James.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
The ye's and the thous and
Yeah, yeah. So I was telling you about the Curse of Oak Island. It is the covenant that that's one of the things they are looking for.
The Ark of the Covenant.
The Ark of the Covenant is supposedly one of the things that was supposedly, they never found it, right?
Right, they've never found it.
Well, there are stories of it being that it was stolen and placed in that island underneath the ground in these tunnels, and there's proof that these tunnels were set up for traps, that if someone went to steal it, it would release water into the tunnel and they'd drown. So they're still trying to find the money, or they're still trying to find the artifacts, but they are finding some pretty cool things. They're finding eight pieces of 8.
Yes.
They're finding those. They're finding, apparently there was a pirate ship that was taken there, and they tilted it into a place and made a little pond that covered it, and then it sunk into the ground and stuff. They found pieces of that art, or pieces of that ship. They found, they found some really cool stuff in that. They found some spikes that were like that long, that were, the guy that was an expert said that it was used to keep a ship together, these giant spikes. It's getting really cool. I'm in the 4th season now, so it's really interesting. And then I found out what the brothers that did all this, how they have all this money, because you figure it costs a little bit of money to do this digging. And apparently the one brother was an engineer, and after he became an engineer, he got his degree in law. And the other brother, who was in charge of everything, apparently the one that's in charge of everything didn't have any money, but his one brother is funding it. And now when he started, the guy had no money. The older brother had no money. And now he has $10 million from the income from the TV show. The other brother has sold his one business and had, I want to say, $40 million. And then he spent some of the money on this and that. And anyway, now he's got like $100 million from his business ventures and stuff. So I guess they're okay for money. They're doing all right.
Yeah,
They're not Jennifer Lopez ready, and but they're doing okay.
But who is?
Yeah, I'm hoping to be. I don't know what I'd do with all that money. If I had all that money.
Is she a billionaire yet?
68. You know what? Let's find out. What is, let's see, what? She's a singer too, right?
What?
Isn't she a singer too?
Yes.
Okay. I would think that she's doing better than, well, Affleck's doing good too. Oh, Jennifer Lopez, some other people are looking for it. Whoop, I'm wrong one. Whoops. Net worth. Oh, that's Jennifer Lawrence. I don't want Jennifer Lawrence. I do want Jennifer Lawrence, but she's not who I want. Lopez.
Well, I guess so was Ben, because he's been seen.
Yeah, well, he's Batman, so he's a billionaire. Okay, her net worth in 2024 is, you want to guess before we look? I don't think she's...
$600 million.
Yeah, I was going to say 750. I think I'll stick with... Oh, no. Oh, well. Well, I guess you win that one. 8 days ago, at a net worth of $400 million, Jennifer Lopez is $50 million richer than her former boyfriend, Alex Rodriguez. So, $400 million. Let's see what Ben Affleck's worth. No, I don't know how she could afford that house then. That's not enough. All right. His is, oh wow, he's a bum. Huh. Huh? He's only 150 million. He's
How
a
can she
pauper.
slum like that?
Wow, I don't know. She should be able. I should be able to get her then. Oh
That's
man,
really slumming though.
I really thought he would be a lot higher.
And you know what? There was no prenup.
Oh,
So everything that they made since the moment they've been married can be split 50-50.
that would really be low of him, though. I would hope he wouldn't do that. That would be
Well,
sad.
you know that's going to be up to a judge.
Oh wait, do Jen and Ben have a prenup? They did not.
Hmm.
She has $400 million. Jeez. Man, makes me really,
That's just bad business, man.
yeah,
When you have two heavyweights like that, that's just bad business.
yeah. Wow. I actually thought she would be more than that because I figured with her music and with her, and him, I thought for sure because he was a director and he's done a lot of pretty big movies. To only be at 150, is that what he said? 150, yeah.
Yeah, 150.
That, I'm really, really, really surprised about that. I thought she would be much, much better than that. So, wow. That's,
See, they got together out of true love and then didn't get a prenup, and now they're both regretting it because it's going to be a long court battle.
he wasn't in love. She might have been, but he wasn't. Guys have a harder time falling in love. I mean, it does happen, but the way he bounces around, I mean, he just got out of that other marriage. Just got
Yeah.
out.
He might be a creep too.
Yeah, I think he is. So if you're watching the show, I'm just kidding. If you're not watching the show, I'm not kidding. So I don't want him holding me back in Hollywood, you know. Okay. All right, next. Okay, so we did that. 10 years after this. Okay. Okay. Not important. Not important. That we. Okay. This might be interesting. You like NFL stuff, right? You do
Yeah.
follow? Okay. NFL equity vote. The National Football League is expected to vote today on allowing private equity firms to purchase minority stakes in its teams. Certain private equity firms are expected to be permitted to own up to 10% stake of a team. Did you know that?
No, first I heard of it.
Okay. It says the vote comes as NFL team evaluations continue to soar in 2023. The average NFL franchise was worth, how much do you think it was worth?
Over $1 billion.
$5.1 billion, up 14% from the previous year, with the Dallas Cowboys topping the list at, how much do you think?
No, I don't know that.
$9 billion.
$9 million.
Billion, that's, that's insane. That's just really insane. The NFL previously restricted ownership to individuals and family trusts. However, the high franchise values make it so few individuals can afford team ownership. If owners approve the proposed changes, those wishing to sell stakes would apply to the league's finance committee, which would then vet the applications before presenting the vote at the next owners' meetings in October. The NFL is the last remaining U.S. sports league not to not allow private equity ownership. The NBA, NHL, MLB, and MLS. What's S?
Soccer, baseball,
Okay.
basketball, and hockey.
What's the MLS?
Major
Soccer.
League Soccer.
Soccer. And they allow up to 30% ownership. So I found that interesting. I'm not a big football fan, but just the idea of the business.
It was the last of the billionaire boys club.
Yeah, I could see that. That's
And my team, the Eagles, the owner, Jeffrey Lurie, is a billionaire.
okay.
in Hollywood. He made all his money in Hollywood as a producer and not a producer, but what do they call when they're at the top of the food chain?
Well, it could be could be producer. I mean,
Okay, but anyhow, he made over $1 billion, and he wants cash to. His franchise is so wealthy that he wants cash to go into the other places and do other things.
wow.
So he's selling minority ownerships.
Okay, well that makes sense. I mean, yeah.
But it had to be people who could afford it.
Yeah.
Now they have people that can afford it. If they do this, then they have more people to choose from.
Wow. That's crazy stuff. Okay, now we're going to go to non-entertainment. Did you hear about the Telegram problems?
Mr. Telegram, I got arrested in France.
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is. You do stay up on this stuff, don't you? Telegram, it says Telegram founder, CEO Pavel Durov was arrested on Saturday at France's Bourgeois airport in Paris. The 39-year-old Russian-born billionaire was reportedly detained over the company's lack of content moderation. Do you know what that's all about?
Okay, France, Europe has very strict guidelines on what you can and cannot do social media-wise.
That's right, exactly. It says Telegram is among the world's most popular social media social media apps, after Meta apps, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, YouTube, TikTok, and WeChat. I guess it's after that. The app's nearly 1 billion users can send encrypted messages up in groups up to 200,000 people. The app is popular among journalists, activists, dissidents, but it also been used for extremist groups and people involved in drug trafficking and distribution of child sexual abuse images. Telegram markets itself as a haven for free speech and boasts fewer than 100 employees, significantly below the thousands of people employed at Meta, YouTube, TikTok. The arrest comes as a European Union has begun implementing the Digital Services Act, imposing stricter rules on content moderation. So he got arrested because he does not moderate anything.
He moderates nothing.
Yeah. So what's your thoughts on that? I mean, the world does not think of free speech like the United States, but I mean, free speech is a strange term when you talk about sex trafficking.
I think there needs to be some limits, but not what Europe's done. They've gone way past it. Musk has problems with X
Yeah.
in Europe.
Yeah.
They're trying to sue him. He's countersuing
Okay.
because they want hate speech, what they consider hate speech,
Okay.
off his platform. And Musk is saying, no, that's not hate speech. That's just allowed.
Okay.
It's just contrary speech to what your government says.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I understand that. That makes sense.
Did you know that Zuckerberg admitted today in a letter to Congress that he was browbeaten by the Biden administration into censoring anti-COVID material?
Really?
He admitted to it today.
Oh. Well, what does?
What conservatives have been saying all along is absolutely true,
Yeah.
because Zuckerberg's now admitted it.
Wow. That's interesting. That I don't even know what to think about that. I mean, we all suspected it, but it's nice to know the truth. I don't know if we know the truth yet, anyway, because I don't know if Zuckerberg knows the truth. How about? Did you hear about this? Harrisburg issues a statement condemning neo-Nazis
Neo-Nazis are marching downtown in Harrisburg.
with their flags. They're with the flags and everything.
Oh my goodness.
It's serious. I mean,
They're allowed. It's
I know.
free speech.
It's
See,
like,
Europe wouldn't allow it.
and even though I don't agree with it, as long as they do it peacefully, what can you do? I mean, I really, I don't want it, But it says Harrisburg condemns neo-Nazis after a video of group marching in the city's downtown appears on social media. Officials say Harrisburg is a city of love and peace, and that group's message of hate is not welcome. I mean, we can't have it both ways, I guess. If we are saying you can have free speech, as long as it's peaceful, as much as we hate it, we got to either do it or not do it. And I really do hate it. Hi, Jen. How you doing? Oh, the crickets are probably in the studio because I have crickets in the studio. There is really crickets in the studio. So if you're hearing crickets, that is true. I've got to figure out a way to get rid of the crickets. But yes, there are crickets in the studio. Can you hear them?
No.
Oh, they're annoying as anything. They're driving me crazy, but I try not to think about it.
Well, let's put it this way. I haven't noticed them. Now I'll...
No, you will, yeah. Actually, that's my brain cells thinking. That's what it is.
Dying one at a time.
One at a time, little by little. But yeah, so that's what the big news in Harrisburg is, that these neo-Nazis were marching downtown. And, it's...
I believe that they have a right under the Constitution of the United States to do that.
Yeah.
And I think the city and other people have the right to countermarch.
Yes. But they're not going to, because they, first off,
they don't want to chance a flare.
And the thing is, with those people, you never know. You just don't know. This week, TV host Bob Barker died last year. 19th Amendment granting U.S. women right to vote takes effect in 1920. First televised Major League Baseball game was 1939. 13 military personnel, more than 160. Oh, that's what you wanted to talk about. Oh, did we talk about that?
What?
13 U.S. military personnel and more than 169 Afghans killed during suicide bombing at Kabul airport in 2021. Didn't you say?
Yeah, that's what Trump went and laid the wreath.
Yeah.
And I know I'm sounding terrible, but Biden and Kamala weren't interested in laying a wreath.
Yeah.
They ignored the whole thing.
I don't know how you can ignore that. That was so horrible. Mother Teresa was born in 1910. Britain's oldest skydiver. How old do you think Britain's oldest skydiver is?
99.
You're close. You're within 5 years. Yeah. 102 years old.
102.
Why would you want to do that at 102? I mean, you lived 102.
Do you remember that President Bush #1?
By the way, it's a woman. She's a woman. She's a woman.
Oh, it's a woman.
102. What the creep is going on here? It says a woman has become the oldest skydiver in Britain after she jumped out of a plane at 102. Manette Bailey took a jump on Sunday at Beccles Airfield to celebrate her birthday. Oh, geez. What if that had gone bad on her birthday?
Well, like I was saying, President Bush, the former, used to jump on his birthday. He'd jump in tandem. There'd be a professional skydiver.
Looks like that's what it looks like her, too. Yeah, okay, it looks like she has one of those, too.
She's a tandem. Yeah.
She says, it was a bit scary. I wouldn't do that at my age. No, I'm not jumping out. No.
Out of a perfectly good air.
Yeah, if it was going down.
If it was a Boeing.
If it was Boeing. But then again, I would just I'd just be like Bugs Bunny. When it gets like within a foot, I jump.
Just jump out.
You know, it's a lot safer. 130 miles an hour. Wait, she said other daring challenges when she drove around Silverstone in a Ferrari at 130 miles an hour to her 100th birthday. What'd she do? What'd she do at 101? She doesn't say. I guess she didn't do anything for 101. But, oh man, these people, I mean, that's crazy. I'm glad that she's got the guts to do that stuff, but nope.
She has a good heart for 102.
I guess so. My heart would have stopped somewhere along the way. Pesticide bomb planned for island filled with bird-eating mice. What? All right, let's see what this is. Oh, here we go. South Africa to bomb mice that eat albatrosses alive. Wow, that's some nasty rodents. Could you imagine that? These mice, like
They
in
want to save
packs?
the albatross.
Yeah, thinking about these mice eating. Oh, man. It says hordes of mice are devouring the eggs of some of, the eggs of some of the world's most important seabirds that nest on Marion Island, about 1,240 miles southeast of Cape Town. It includes iconic wandering albatross.
I thought they were eating the birds.
Yeah, that's what I thought when it said that. I thought, what? That eat albatrosses alive? Well, I don't see that. That's eggs, not the mice. Let's see what it's eating. Oh wait, it says the mice have now, for the first time last year, been feeding on adult wandering albatrosses. That's just really insane. I can't even imagine these mice. So they got gangs of mice.
Organized.
Yeah, organized mice out there. Wow, that's insane.
You take the East Coast, I'll take the West Coast, and we'll meet in the middle.
Okay, what else we got here? That's freaking awesome. I never thought I'd see that. But I'll tell you, I remember when I had this one house, the one house I owned in Chambers Hill, the mice got so bad that they climbed our curtains right in front of us. I'm like, that's nervy. I mean, it's bad enough when you find out you have mice, but when they start climbing the curtains while you're watching TV in front of you.
Yeah, that's pretty nervy.
Yeah, we got rid of them as quick as we could the minute we found out they did that, and that was crazy. Oh man. Charting how long you have left to live statistically. Oh, I don't know if I want to look at that, especially on my birthday. Mom always said dying was part of life, according to Forrest Gump. Life expectancy for the average woman in the United States is 81 and 2 months. For men, it's 76 and 5 months. Those are the most recent estimates. Okay, I got a couple years yet, so I don't have to feel. You know what? I'm actually probably the best health I've been ever when I think about it, because my weight and everything. Other than my knees really bad and my shoulders really bad, my back bad, and my neck, I'm perfect. Other than that. But you know.
Yeah, but none of that is life threatening.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say.
Well, I mean, I never smoked. Wild grandma. Yeah, that was a wild grandma, all right. Could you imagine grandma saying, "Hey, let's go for a ride. Where are you going? We're gonna go to the sky." Oh man. Anyway, life expectancy. Okay, so here's the life expectancy. Okay, how's this work? Probably. Okay, so that's for women, right? Yeah, that's a female. Can we change this? No. Yes, we can. Okay. All right. And what's this fast and slow thing? Let's go to, let's see. Oh, let's say I was 60 today, or whatever number I'm going to get when I do this. Okay. Okay, so the graphic, according to this, how does this work? Overall life expectancy. Okay, so that one says that if I was 62 today, and I was a male, I think I'm a male. What's the fast and slow? What's that? The graph uses data from the Social Security Administration to simulate your possible lifetimes. The line shows the probability you'll live to your next birthday given age and sex, and each running dot represents a possibility. As expected, the probability that you live to the next year decreases as you age. more than 90%, 99% of the people under 60 live to see the next year. But the probability shifts towards zero relatively quickly after that. So let the simulation run long enough or flip to the fast switch, and the distribution converges. Oh, okay, so let's see what happens. Let's put it on fast. Holy cow. Oh, I don't like that. I don't think I like this game. I don't like games where I die. All right, let's go to the next one. The world's largest soccer stadium. This is what it's going to look like. Okay, it's that. Who would have thought back when we were in college? I remember when Scott used to play soccer, and he used to play that. He used to kick that ball with his knees and his head and all that stuff. And I thought that's never going to catch on.
It's the #1 sport in the world.
Yeah, well, back then I didn't think it would catch on. But now,
I went to my first Major League Soccer game this year, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
did you? Okay.
It was fast. It was exciting.
Yes, that is one thing that you have with soccer. That is true. I don't know. I can see how you could like that. I could see, yeah. I mean, it does. You do have to pay attention. It's not like a slow, drawn-out thing that you can be bored with. If you watch it and you can get yourself into that mode, I could see that as being a very interesting sport.
You can't just sit there and wait for a goal. You have to be into individual defensive plays, individual offensive
Yes.
plays.
Yes.
Because if you wait for the goal, you may only be one score a game.
I could see that. Yes. Okay. I guess that's not unrealistic. I would say that's good.
So how many people does this stadium hold?
That's Morocco's. Let's see here. Holy cow. Do you have any guesses?
100,000.
You're really close. 115,000 seat capacity, just in time for the African national to get a joint host for the 2030 FIFA World Cup. It's funny, I remember when they came out with that on video games too. They started like FIFA. I thought, well, who's going to play that game? I never looked at it, so dummy me. I just thought nobody would be playing that, and it's good I don't pick that kind of stuff because I would lose. What in the world? A visual deep dive into North Korea's balloon trash attacks. Why are they attacking me? North
They were
Korea.
sending trash over to South.
North Korea has launched thousands of balloons into South Korea since late May. What?
It's poop and trash and rotten food.
What? Is that real?
Yeah.
Whose idea was this?
There was North Korea's, the
Why?
Hermit Kingdom,
Why?
Kim Jong-un.
How could you hate the amount of time just to put these balloons together? How could you?
Yeah, but how would you like to be the person that's told they have to go out there and collect this stuff and put it in a bag?
That's what I mean. It's a lot of work. Why don't they? If they just bomb them, be done with it. Don't. I mean, what can you do if they give up? Now you got Now you have a property that's you got to clean up when you're done.
See, South Korea sends propaganda
Okay.
into
Oh.
North Korea.
Okay.
And this is the retaliation.
Jeez.
Tit for tat.
I don't know. That's pretty weird. That's weird tact. Okay. Okay, this is weird. Rare August snowfall dusts California. What is this? California experiences rare August snowfall in Sierra Nevada mountains near Mammoth. This has been a weird year, too, when you think about it. We're in the middle of August. This should be the hottest time of the year. It has traditionally been. But I've had really days where I have no air conditioning, I have the windows open. It's just beautiful out. Oh, we're actually cold out at night in August. Boy, that
Right now in Cincinnati, it's very hot right now.
that global warming makes it that cold. So
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense.
I mean, I don't mean to be cynical, but everything can be blamed on global warming if you try hard enough.
Yeah. It's global warming has really made it cold. I don't know. I have a feeling this winter might be a little colder than normal.
You think?
We've been really lucky. We've been lucky over the past couple of years. There's got to be a big one coming. I remember as a kid, we go out. Do you remember when we were kids? I don't know. I'm assuming it's the same for you. You went to when? Central Dauphin?
No, Susquehanna.
Susquehanna? Okay. When it would snow, it could be up over, really deep, and they'd send the school buses out, and we'd be going to school anyway.
That's right.
And now, if they say, we think it may snow, they automatically cancel snow. Or they cancel school for the next couple days, and then if it doesn't snow, oh well. Jeez.
Well, that's because of litigation, Mike.
I guess. I don't know.
People get sued today for everything.
Yeah.
If they go pick you up and you have a wreck, you have, if there's 50 kids on the bus, there's 50 lawsuits.
That's crazy. Anyway, California experiences rare August snowfall so what's it say here? A rare dusting of summer snowfall happened in the Sierra Nevada mountains in California overnight. The snow actually laid down too. Look at that. That's crazy. While it's rare to see snow this time of year, it's a reminder of the unpredictable nature of our beautiful Sierra Nevada. Oof, that's I guess snow would be I wouldn't mind snow in the summer, but I don't know. That's crazy stuff. How schools are tackling cell phones this year, because that's always been an issue since they allowed cell phones in the school. It says here, here's how they're going to do it. Oh, hopefully it's not. There we go. It says Isabel Peers first noticed what she calls the gradual apathy pandemic in 8th grade. Only a handful of classmates registered for service products she helped organize at her Massachusetts school. Even fewer showed up. When she got to high school last fall, Isabella found the problem was even worse. A lackluster spirit week and classes where students seldom spoke. In some ways, as students just care less and less about what people think, but are somehow care more, said Isabella, 14. Some teens, she said, no longer care about appearing disengaged, while others are so afraid of ridicule, they keep to themselves. She blames social media and lingering isolation of the post-COVID era. I guess that's something that I was always isolated from everybody because I just didn't have any friends to talk to. And we didn't have cell phones in school back then. But it says educators say their tried and true lesson plans are no longer enough to keep students engaged at a time of struggling mental health, shortened attention spans, reduced attendance, and worsening. I got a question to ask you. This reminds me of something. One of the auditions I got, Jennifer says 95 here tomorrow. Ugh. Yeah, well, that's not good. I don't like that much heat. One of the auditions that I got a chance to do, and I'm thinking I'm going to do it, is to be an ambassador for mental health. And they give you scripts, and I read one of the scripts. It's not bad. They're paying a lot of money for this. And you don't have to be an actor. You just got to be engaging. That would be something you would be good at.
So what is the deal? You read it for TV, or you read it for radio?
No, what you do is, I could see you doing this. This could be a supplemental income for you if you want it. You can make $2,000 a week with 15-minute sessions. You get to travel to different places and stuff. It's the audition. Let's see. The audition is it's called I thought of you when I saw this because I might do this. I'm thinking of doing this for fun, but where did I put it? I think I put it in solo. Here it is, mental health. So here's what you would do. You would have, here's a script. This is what I'm going to do this for us. This is going to be for an audition. This isn't going to be the audition because I haven't practiced it yet. So you would come in, you would stand up in front of 20 people, 25 people. And so here's what it would be. You say, let's start with the secure attachment style. This is when a person feels safe and confident in relationships. It often develops when a child experiences consistent love and support from their caregivers. In therapy, with this style, typically have healthy boundaries and find an easier way to trust others. Next is an anxious attachment style. This happens when someone is uncertain about the availability of love. Imagine a child who receives attention inconsistently. Sometimes their needs are met, other times they're ignored. As adults, they might feel clingy or overdependent in relationships, always feeling rejection. Therapy helps them explore their fears and build more secure connections. Then there's the avoidance attachment style. This forms when a child's needs are often dismissed, leading them to believe they can only rely on themselves. Sounds familiar, don't it? This one sounds like me. They can rely on them. In adulthood, they might even seem distant or emotionally unavailable. Therapy helps them learn to open up and trust others step by step. Lastly, we have the disorganized attachment style. This is a mix of anxious and avoidant behaviors, often stemming from trauma or chaotic caregiving. These individuals might crave closeness, but also push it away, feeling confused and unsafe. In therapy, we work on healing past wounds and finding stability in relationships. Remember, these attachment styles aren't set in stone. There is a safe place to explore these patterns, understanding where they come from, and most importantly, learn how they build healthier, more fulfilling relationships, both with others and ourselves. It's a journey of self-discovery, guided by compassion and understanding. No matter your attachment style, and you're not alone, and mainly have moved to healthy and secure attachments. And many have moved to healthy and secure attachments despite very difficult early childhoods. That's what you would read to 20, 25 people like 4 times during your day. And they pay really well. And I'm thinking I might do that. I'm thinking I might actually be up for that because you set your own schedule. They'll say, these dates are available. How often do you want to work? So they pay really, I think the pay in this was somewhere around, this one's $2,500 for 3 days of travel, of shooting and travel and lodging. They're paying your food, your lodging, your travel, and $2,500 for 3 days.
Wow.
I think I could do that.
You think you could? Huh?
I'm pretty sure I could. So I'm really thinking I'm going to shoot. I might do that tomorrow. I might shoot that tomorrow. That's the first time I read that through, but that's it's little scripts. It's short little scripts, and I would imagine that if you're doing enough of those scripts, you could probably have it in front of you because you're going to be in a room of people. And you could probably look down and see it. And after you read it a couple times, you're probably going to become, that's really makes, after you do it, there's 4 things, there's 4 different types, and what are the 4 types? You don't have to read it word for word, you just got to read what, basically what they want. And I'm thinking I might go for that. So the days are 6 to 8 hours, 3 days of 6 to 8 hours. I'll travel, lodging, and a stipend for food and transportation. It'd be a nice way to make extra money between shoots too. So, but I thought of you because I think that you probably would be really good at that because you did counseling. That would be
Yeah.
right down your road.
Plus, I preach, which means I could present well.
Sure. If you're interested, I'll get you the information. If you're,
Yeah, send it to
and there's another company that does that too called Pace something or other, but I don't think this is them. But there are two companies that I looked at. This one's paying better than the other one, but not, it's not a big difference in wages. But Pace has work apparently all the time, and you choose your own schedule. So that's kind of cool. You can, decide to work a couple times a month, or you could work every day. So it's a nice way to supplement your income.
Nice way.
So I figure if I did 4 of those, if I did that all month, that'd be more than I made when I was working. So anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, back to the show. Did they even say how the schools are? They didn't say anything about how cell phones are gaining more traction, but many say they're not enough. Cell phone bans. They argue for alternative stimulation, steering students outdoors and towards extracurricular to fill time that they might spend alone. So a lot of time, I guess they're saying cell phones would lead people to isolation, and they want to try to get people to talk.
Plus, it also disrupts the class.
Yeah. It says cell phone pouches, lockers, and bins have grown in popularity to help enforce device bans. This one teacher in California invented a pouch system because he was so distressed by bullying and fights on phones during class without any adults interfering. Many teachers are afraid to confront students using phones during lessons, and they have given up trying to stop it. So I don't really know what they're. Wait a minute. Okay, so his school students lock their phones in these pouches during classes, or even all day. A teacher or principal's magnetic key unlocks the pouches. Doesn't matter how dynamic the lesson. There's nothing that can compete with a cell phone. So they're trying to find ways to.
And the ACLU is suing each and every school district that's trying to do this.
Really?
Parents don't like the fact that they cannot get a hold of their children at a moment's notice. I grew up when there was one phone line coming into Herbert Hoover Elementary.
Yeah.
One phone line.
Yeah.
And if your parent wanted you, it had to go through the secretary to the principal.
It shouldn't be that easy to get a hold of somebody, unless if it's an emergency. I understand you get a hold of the principal or somebody, but I really think that cell phones are really not good for schools. I mean, if there's a shooting, certainly cell phones, have been a way to tell people what's going on. But I don't know the answer to that. I mean, things like this. I mean, and I'd hate to be a student at this time, at this point, with the way things are now. You didn't have people walking into schools with guns when we were kids, or if they were going to, like we had a gun club, and we actually had our guns in school, and nobody was shooting each other. We were learning about guns and gun safety. Now you have to worry about if someone carries a gun in school, why they're carrying a gun in school. Yeah, that I don't know what I would do if I was someone that was what? Why would you be growling me? I'm going to tell you to go away if you start growling. I don't know what I would do if I were a parent or, had to worry about things like that. What was the audition I did? I did an audition this week that I wanted to share. Let me see. Oh, no, I can't share that one. that one I won't share. I won't share that one. Definitely not that one, because that one was. It showed some range, but it really wasn't me. That one I was an obnoxious Hollywood guy on the phone, ripping someone a new one on the phone. And then after that, I went from being angry to someone was in my office and I just smiled and said hello and just was real nice to them. So it showed two different emotions. So that was good for me, but that wouldn't be good for the show. It was really not.
Did we see what the real Mike is like?
You know the real Mike, and that's not me. I felt uncomfortable doing it, so it was. But I'd take the job because it's a feature role, so I would take the job because it would get me what I need to get, and that is noticed. So, but it's not me, and I can't. I don't really understand. A business run like this, so that kind of thing was it was weird. It was weird doing it, but it felt like I really feel like my acting's come a long way. This new teacher I have, I'm learning a lot from him, the way that you trigger one emotion to another. So that was good, but I don't think it would be good for this show. And it looks like for some reason, my video is, well, the clip I had up crashed. There it is, okay. So there are I have a bunch of auditions on here, but that's not one I think that I put in here because it's offensive. Okay. Now what's going on with my internet? Okay, well, while that's going on, jury selection is going on right now in a trial against a mass shooting suspect accused of killing 10 people in Boulder, Colorado supermarket of March of 2021. I remember when that happened. The guy came and he targeted, racially targeted a lot of people. And, oh, there it is. Hey, it came up. I hope they give him something. I hope they don't let him go. They better put him away. Yeah, at table.
He killed 10 people?
He killed 10 people, yeah. At this King Soopers store, March 22nd, 2021.
He came in and they targeted African Americans?
No, it was Hispanics. I think mostly.
Well, I hope they have the death penalty.
I hope so too. It says those that were killed were Denny Strong, 20, Nevin Stanistic, 23, Ricky Olds, 25. So a lot of them were young. Trelona Barkowskiak, 49, Suzanne Fountain, 59, Terry Leaker, 51, Boulder police officer Eric Talley, 51, 61-year-old Kevin Mahoney, 62-year-old Lynn Murray, 65-year-old Jody Walters. Actually, they seem to be pretty much everything across the board. Those were the ones that were killed. It says questionnaires went out Monday morning in the first step to seat jury in the trial of Ahmed Aliwai Alisa, 25. He's facing several charges, including murder, attempted murder, assault, and possessing illegal magazines of ammunition. He pleaded guilty. He pleaded not guilty by reason of insanity. See, as far as I'm concerned, when you do that, if you're insane, okay, there's no reason for you to live because you just killed 20 people. So you're a risk at killing, a risk to society. The minute you kill one person, you're a risk as far as I'm concerned. The process of going to trial has lasted more than 3 years with several hearings and evaluations dedicated to determining whether the suspect is competent to stand trial. The suspect has been hospitalized at Colorado Mental Health hospital in Pueblo since December 2021, and the judge has dismissed requests to move the trial out of Boulder County. The jury is expected to be seated by September 4th. Maybe he's Spanish. Maybe he doesn't like white people. He looks like he might be Spanish. I don't know. What did it say his name was? Oh, he had he had a Ahmed Alawi Alicia. That could be Arab, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Well,
I don't care what his nationality is, or ethnicity, or race,
I don't either.
and I don't care if he was insane or not.
Yeah, I don't either. As long as if he killed those people, he deserves to, the very least, go to jail for life. But
You know, just by picking the same nationality, ethnicity, and race for every one of the people he killed means he wasn't that insane.
yeah, that's true. And the weird thing is, I just can't even. When I look at that, I just can't even understand why you have so much hatred in your heart that you kill all these people you don't even know. Just went on a shooting spree. You know, I don't know. It's sad. I don't know. Ohio prison holds its first 5-course meal for the public. Like, what's going on? What's going on over there? Why are we giving
Just inviting people in.
Yeah, I mean, but 5-course meal. Just give them sandwiches if they're coming over. You know. It says for the first time that they've had a 5-course meal has been served to the members of the public with food prepared by incarcerated men from fruits and vegetables grown in the prison garden. Almost 60 people dined at the Grafton Correctional Institution, where incarcerated men in the prison's Edwin's Leadership Restaurant Institute hosted the event for two prison gardens, the Edwin's Garden and the Hope City Garden. Edwin's is an organization dedicated to education in prisons, hosted the dinner as part of its culinary course offered in 652 prisons and jails around the country. The 6-month course provides training to incarcerated people, teaching them cooking techniques safely and sanitation. Nice skills. Nice skills are good to have in prison. And other certifications needed to work in fine dining establishments. Figuratively is happening. What is happening is we are reframing what is possible in prison. So I guess they have. I don't think I understand, but okay. Krotowski, a James Beard Award semifinalist and finalist for Outstanding Restaurateur, formed a partnership with the staff at Grafton Correctional Institution in 2012 and designed a class to teach incarcerated men about culinary arts and hospitality. This must be I would imagine this is just not the place where the prisoners are never getting out. I would imagine.
No. These are highly selected men.
Yeah.
They applied for it and they're selected.
Okay. Are you familiar with
These are
it?
not dangerous criminals.
Are you familiar with it?
No, but I used to work in a prison and
Okay.
we had programs like this.
Well, it says the program was born out of belief that every human being, regardless of their past, has a right of a fair and equal future. Bouquets of magenta roses, lilies, and other flowers lined the table covered with white linen cloth. Fresh bread and olive oil was set out for each diner. The table was placed in the middle of the two gardens. Incarcerated men grow a range of fruits, vegetables, and herbs ranging from parsley to corn and beets. Greg Seigelmeyer, an incarcerated person at GCI, says he looks forward to attending the program every week. He says the class helped him come out of his shell. He first signed up to work in the kitchen for the dinner party because he didn't want guests to see how nervous he was. After some thought and conversation with others close to him, he thought it would be a good challenge, good to challenge himself by doing something that makes him feel uncomfortable. And he's considering working in the industry when he gets released in a year. So there you go. It teaches someone a trade that they can actually go out and hopefully not come back. So I'm all for it.
That's the goal, reformation.
Yeah, I'm all for something like that. That's something that would be good.
That's what I did when I was a treatment specialist.
Okay. Did you feel that people took it seriously, that what you did? Or?
Sure, it depended on the guy, but yeah, some guys are very thankful for opportunities like that.
Okay.
Because they didn't have a skill.
Okay.
They've been doing criminal activity since high school, and they never developed a skill other than criminal activity.
Okay.
So then they had something to do when they got out. They had a trade.
Okay. Red Lobster's having more and more issues. Red Lobster
Yes,
closed a bunch more.
They're closing how many more?
Where I had that here somewhere. I must have had it in here twice because I thought one of them said. I don't see it, but I know that they're closing a bunch of them in Pennsylvania. But Red Lobster's new owners tapped former P.F. Chang CEO to lead the world's largest seafood chain as part of its bankruptcy exit plan. Man, I never thought I'd see that happen. I really thought that Red Lobster did fairly well with the business, but I guess they somehow. I just never thought that would be happening. You know. I never thought that because Red Lobster, it's like whenever you talk to somebody, when they talk to, around here, like I hear people talk, oh, we got to go to Red Lobster. I'm like, Red Lobster? Why? Because that's great seafood. No, it's not. I don't think it is. If you want seafood, you got to go to the sea. You got to go to somewhere where there's good seafood. And that means going out of Pennsylvania and probably, like, usually if I want good seafood, I got to go to Maryland, or I go to New Jersey somewhere, because that's where the real good seafood is. And like my mom loved Red Lobster, and I thought, you don't understand, this is not what real seafood is. And then I took her to see real seafood, and then she wanted real seafood. I'll never forget when I bought her a lobster, her first lobster in her life, and she was close to 80. And what I did was I bought her, they had these pails, and they made this fresh seafood in these and gave you these pails, and it'd be seafood for two. And I figured she could taste lobster, real lobster. She never had lobster. She could taste these different things that she never had. And after we were done, like, I'm stuffed. And she's like, can you buy me another lobster? I'm like, no. You should be full. We just ate a lot of lobster. We ate a lot of everything. So, oh man, it was really interesting. But I just really find it amazing that this chain that I thought was making tons of money was losing money, and I just don't understand how.
Poor decisions on where they put them. They have one in an area around here called Coleraine. It's not a very rich area.
Yeah.
The Red Lobsters are a little bit too pricey for the area. They should have never put one in.
Well, I think a lot of it also had to do with a lot of these places lost so much during COVID and all that.
They couldn't recover.
And yeah, I really think that may be part of it too. And bad decisions trying to get people back in there, offering all you can eats and things like that to get the people back in. I think they probably blew a lot of their money on promotions and stuff. Well, here it says here, where is it? There it is. Yeah, it says they plan to close 23 more, another 23 stores. Red Lobster's already closed more than 100 stores this summer. Fortress, which bought Crystal Restaurants and Logan's Roadhouse after they declared bankruptcy, has loaned Red Lobster $300 million to help keep them alive. It says Adam Kung, who was the CEO for P.F. Chang's from 2020 to 2023, believes the Red Lobster's future is brighter now more than ever under his leadership. P.F. Chang's netted almost $1 billion in 2023. I love P.F. Chang's. They have great food. It says here, surpassing its pre-pandemic sales. Yeah, if it's doing $1 billion in P.F. Chang's. Red Lobster, meanwhile, has struggled to stay afloat as food prices increased and interest in chain dried up. It was hoping it was hoping its all-you-can-eat shrimp deal would attract back its shrinking customer base, but the deal led to millions in losses as people took the all-you-can-eat more seriously than the chain had hoped. So the shrimp ended up killing. Oh man, that's a shame. I mean, I didn't dislike Red Lobster. I just kind of thought that it was, if you're
not getting fresh seafood.
Right. Exactly.
See, if you go down the shore or to Maryland, you're getting fresh crab in Maryland.
Yep. That's the whole thing, is that if you get seafood, I want to get fresh seafood. And I don't necessarily care to have like breaded seafood. I like my seafood, the seafood. I don't
like breaded seafood.
Yeah, it's a lot of people like it has to be breaded, and I'm like, well, that's not, you're not
That's
liking,
not seafood.
you're not looking
That's
for,
bread.
yeah, you're looking for breading, and but it was just, it's one of those things that, okay, what's this? This one is, okay, history. Okay. Oh, that's right. I went to, where's that at? There it is. This is interesting. Crocodile removed from Central PA storage facility. A crocodile, a live crocodile.
That was in the news out here.
Oh, okay. Well, that was
USA Today. That's how it made it out here.
Oh man, it's because apparently they had all kinds of
They had a
animals.
pet.
Yeah, they had all kinds of animals in that storage unit. Police in Columbia Borough said they got a report of a crocodile left in a storage unit with other small animals. Due to inadequate living conditions, it was seized by officers to be turned over to a local reptile rescue expert. You can distinguish an alligator from a crocodile by paying attention to whether the animal sees you later. Oh, I got it. You can distinguish an alligator from a crocodile by paying attention as to whether or not the animal sees you later or in a while. See you later, crocodile. Yeah. So they actually had a crocodile. That's just crazy. York's most famous and probably only emotional support alligator, Wally, disappeared when his owner, Joey Henney, was visiting friends in Georgia in April. The gator was reportedly released into a swamp and hasn't been found. The case has been mired in a swamp of controversy. A man reported what he believes that was an alligator in Lake Redmond in June. So far, that gator hasn't been found either. And in big news, for our sister publication in Erie over the last couple of weeks, has been a sighting of an alligator in Lake Erie, also not found yet. Jeez. Why would somebody want to have an alligator? I mean, it's not like you're going to pet the alligator. It's not like your dog.
Did it say it was a support animal?
I think they were only kidding about that, but this gator here is on a leash though. That's just freaking crazy. These people, why would you do that? It's not fair to the animal, and it's definitely not fair to anybody. If you have an alligator, what are you going to do with it? It's not like you can, play with it in the yard. Those people are crazy. Just insane. But yeah, that was one of the news stories. Did you hear about the super yacht? The super yacht that sank?
Yes.
That's insane. You spend a lot of money on a super yacht, and then what's it do? carried
Well,
20.
they think that the staff made errors.
That's just, oh man.
There's going to be charges filed.
I would imagine, and think of the money you spent for that. There it is, yacht not for charter. The award that says the award-winning 56-meter, 183-foot sail yacht, Bayasian, was built in Perini Navi in Italy, and it didn't make it very far either. Oh no, that's not the one though, is it? Is that the one that sank? Wait a minute, here we go. Super luxury yacht. Yeah, super luxury yacht. UK, oh, here we go. Here, this is the one. UK tech tycoon among 6 missing after the yacht sinks.
And his daughter.
You can't, I mean, really, that kind of money and oh, man. British tech tycoon Mike Lynch and his 18-year-old daughter are missing among the 6 people missing after the luxury yacht sank off the coast of the Italian island of Sicily in early hours Monday morning. The 183-foot vessel was carrying 22 people, including British, American, and Canadian nationals. 15 people were rescued, including a 1-year-old British girl, and authorities are continuing their search into the night. Local media reported the yacht, named Bayasian, capsized at 5 local time after encountering a heavy storm overnight that caused water spouts and rotating columns of air to appear over the sea. Mr. Lynch is known as the British Bill Gates. Bill Gates is still alive, and he wouldn't take out a super yacht unless his wife was trying to kill him. Is known by the British Bill Gates, co-founded software company Autonomy, which was later bought by tech giant Hewlett-Packard for $11 billion. Holy crap. Witnesses told Italian news agency that the Bayasian's anchor was down when the storm struck, causing the mast to break and the ship to lose its balance and sink off the coast of village Porticello near Sicilian capital Palermo. A waterspout is similar to a tornado and can form over the seas or even large lakes. Divers have identified the wreckage 50 meters below the water surface and are searching for the missing. That's got to be a horrible, horrible. I mean, that's. And you figure the amount of money he spent on this boat and stuff, or on this ship, and you would think that it would be at least, a solid piece of equipment.
Well, I don't remember. I did not read the article, but it could have something to do with why was the anchor down.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but yeah.
I don't know how that works either. But they did find everybody.
Oh, so the 2 were recovered? I'm assuming not alive.
Not alive.
Yeah. That's really a shame. Jeez. Mr. Lynch's wife is named as the sole owner of RevTom registered in the Isle of Man. That's just.
It's horrible.
That is horrible, man. To think you're going out.
I feel bad for that 18-year-old girl. She had her whole life ahead of her.
Oh yeah, not to mention the baby daughter.
Yeah.
That's just a shame. We got gold is discovered in Canada's Yukon Territory, and it sparks Klondike Gold Rush in 1896. Babe Ruth dies in 1948. Sports Illustrated is first published in 1954. Madonna is born in 1958. Elvis Presley dies in 1977. Aretha Franklin dies in 2018 on this day. Let's see. Time. Oh, this is interesting. Did you hear about this kid the Kid of the Year, Times Kid of the Year, 2024? He discovered a cancer preventing soap. I never heard of it, but yeah, cancer preventing soap. His name is Heman Bekele. Whipped up the most dangerous of what he called potions when he was just 7 years old. He'd been conducting his own science experiments for about 3 years by that point, mixing up whatever he could get his hands on at home and waiting to see if the resulting goo would turn into anything. That's at 7. What was I doing at 7? I can't even tell you what I was doing at 7. They were just dish soap, laundry detergent, and common household chemicals, he says. I would hide them under my bed and see what happens if I left them overnight. There was a lot of mixing together completely at random. But soon, things got less random. For Christmas, before his 7th birthday, Heman was given a chemistry set that came with a sample of sodium hydroxide. By then, he'd been looking up chemical reactions online and learned what aluminum and sodium hydroxide can produce prodigious amounts of heat. That got him thinking that perhaps he could do the world some good. I thought this would be a solution to energy, thinking to making an unlimited supply, but I almost started a fire. By the way, I don't know if you can see you probably can't. My shirt is, I gotta, this is funny. I only use, wait a minute, hold on, which way, this way. Sodium, calcium, wait a minute, hold on. Sodium, argon, calcium, and samarium. See what the shirt says? Oh, wait.
What's that make?
It makes, wait, wrong way. This was a birthday gift. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, this side. You see it?
No.
Sodium, S.
Yeah, I can only see the top line. I only use
Sodium, argon, calcium.
Okay.
Put it together.
So,
Sarcasm.
what?
Sarcasm. See, you didn't see it.
No, I didn't see it.
See, I was into Breaking Bad, and I told my girlfriend a lot about Breaking Bad, and she watched Breaking Bad, and they used, she gave me another shirt that said BA, and I forget what it is, but it's the Breaking Bad. What they did was, in Breaking Bad, they used the symbols, and they would do weird things with them. They would do like things you would, look at it and you'd say, oh, that's a symbol for, but it actually spelled something out. So she got me a shirt like that. Because you aren't going to see, you don't see that at first.
I don't see it, so it doesn't.
And I didn't see it at first, and I'm like, I don't get it. And I looked at it a little closer and saw what it was. But I just thought, because of this article, that's what I was thinking of. But this kid came up with this formula for, helping people. So I never would have seen that coming. But he can't.
7-year-old, that's amazing.
Yeah, what's he going to be when he's like twice his age? At 14. Hey, my other dog's down here today. But yeah, it was just really neat that a kid this age is trying to help people. And he isn't thinking of things like when I was a kid, we were playing with our toys, But it was kind of cool that, hey, stop it. It's just really cool that the kids are out there and doing things to help people. So, yeah.
It's a lot better than a lot of adults do.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that guy that went in there and killed all those people. And, you know, we got kids like this that are trying to help people. So he got the Kid of the Year. Jeez. I just think it's awesome, you know. But anyway, that's that. Okay, then we got, what happened? Oh, I think I deleted too much stuff. Okay. Oh, yeah, this is neat. Airline, now this would have been good for me a couple years ago when I was flying a lot. Wizz Air has launched an unlimited flight subscription service, but what's the catch? So they're offering, you can sign up for this, and for, now it's not available, I don't think it's available in the US, because I don't think we have a Wizz Air, but they, for $4.99, you get all the flights you can take. Now, $4.99, that's European, so it would be somewhere around probably $5.20 or $5.30 is what it would cost you. But for that, I would do that, because even if I wasn't flying anywhere, I would do it anyway. I would just fly just for fun. That's a year's subscription for $500. You know, even if it was $1,000.
You can fly all year for that?
Yeah, that's what it's saying. It's $4.99 European. August 16, it's rising to $5.99. But let's say for $5.99, let's see how much that is in US. I would imagine that probably would be, if it's $5.99, I'm thinking it would be, so that's 600. I would say that would be about, say, 675 to 700. Okay, let's find out. Oh, 669.29. How you like that? I'm right on. I'm really right there. He said 675. That's how much it would cost for $700 a year. You could fly as often as you wanted.
Wherever they go.
Yeah. Well, that seems kind of. I mean, that's one flight for me. And generally, I fly in. Lately, I've been flying in first class because I had long flights and I couldn't stand the idea of sitting with my legs in that position for that long in that cramped little space. So to me, it was worth the money because I was staying in an Airbnb. I saved the money there. So I just figured I'd go, you know, when I have to go cross country like that, that's more worth it to me. So, yeah, that's what it would be. I got that pretty much down, though. I was pretty close when I said 675. Well, it's because the European is like, comes out to like somewhere around 20% higher, or around 25-30% higher in the U.S. is what my head says, because it fluctuates, but in general, that's, you know, the reason I know that is that I would watch Top Gear and they would say, oh, that costs 200,000 euro. And I thought, well, how much is that in United States money? And it came out to like 235 or something like that. So now I've got a general idea. Now it fluctuates some from time to time, but in general, that's pretty close. All right, we're getting near the end here, so we gotta. Medicare slashes drug prices, apparently. That's what I'm being told.
10 drugs.
Oh, is it that? It's only 10? Oh, that's not.
Yeah, government, Biden administration negotiated.
Well, that's nice, but it's only 10 drugs.
Well, they want to do more, but they started with 10.
Okay. Medicare announces, there it is, lower on 10 common high-cost drugs. Oh, that's like insulin and stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's new drugs that have come out that nobody can afford.
Yeah, because I remember that a friend of mine takes insulin, and I remember when she was looking for ways to get insulin in it because she lost her insurance and stuff, and it was very expensive. But anyway, it says here are the negotiated prices for drugs based on a 30-day supply. Eliquis, a blood thinner, it's $231, negotiated down from $521. Xarelto, it's a blood thinner from Johnson & Johnson. Don't take it because Johnson & Johnson kills people. I will never buy Johnson & Johnson if I can help it, because that's what killed Pam. Not that particular thing, but I hate Johnson & Johnson. Diabetes drug from Merck, 113, down from 527. That's a big drop.
That's a big drop.
Jardiance, I've heard of that one. Diabetes drug from Boehringer and Eli Lilly, 197, negotiated down from 571. See, these companies can afford to drop those.
Okay, but here's the other side of the coin. They're saying that this trend is going to continue, but new drugs are not going to come to market because they can't afford to invest in the R&D.
Okay.
So the government's forcing them to do this.
Okay.
And they're saying, well, it's going to hurt R&D, and so we're not going to get as many drugs to market.
Well, you know, when you think of that, there's that Martin, what's his name? Oh shoot, he was a young millionaire that bought a drug company, and he instantly raised the price for like the drug that was used for AIDS. He raised it up to like $2,000 a pill or something weird like that, and the government took action against him because he was just basically raping them for that. But there's people like him that do that, and they just do it because they can. You know?
Big Pharma can do anything they want to do.
Right. Yeah.
But what they're saying is this is going to hurt R&D, but I'm not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
They don't have to charge this kind of money for drugs.
Well, I mean, I just really, this one here was Imbruvica, a drug for blood cancers from Johnson & Johnson. Oh, I hate them guys. Negotiated price is $9,319. Negotiated down from $14,934. Who can afford that? You know?
Ben Affleck.
Yeah, well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe Jennifer Lopez, but I don't know if even Ben Affleck can afford that. That's just insane that any drug could be that price. I just don't understand. Some of these are okay. I mean, like $500 negotiated down to $178. That's cool, but when you look at that $14,000, almost $15,000 negotiated down to $9,319. What is it made out of? It's got to be made out of gold or something. That's just intense. Here's another one for psoriasis and Crohn's disease. $4,700 negotiated down from $14,000. That's just insane. I mean, they make so much money on their. If you want to make money, you just invest in their stocks, because you're not going to lose money on a drug company unless they get sued and they lose the suit. But even like, okay, so I'm just angry at pharmaceutical companies because Johnson & Johnson made the Energel that killed my wife, and they wouldn't take responsibility for it. And they have so much money and these high-powered lawyers that they get away with it. They just
get away with it because they also control politicians.
Exactly. And we went to, they somehow twisted and turned her case around, saying that it was my fault that she died or that she was sick. And how do you do that? How can you do that? It had nothing to do with it, but it didn't matter. And so we ended up losing the lawsuit. We had to sign an agreement, and so that we wouldn't go to court. And they gave us this settlement we had a choice of taking the settlement, which was nothing. No, hardly, really nothing. We either take the settlement or we have to pay the lawyers for all their time that they spent on our case. Which,
see, they have you over a barrel.
Yeah, and when we went in that hearing, they had like a whole line of lawyers sitting there, and we had one lawyer, and we knew we were screwed. There was no way that you're going to beat the pharmaceutical company. And the way that they do it is they wanted to take, we had them take that off the market. That was part of our agreement. And what they did was they tried to put it back on the market under a different name. And we stopped it from that. But it just was horrible that the way they do this is they take a price, they say, okay, how much money are we going to make? Okay, we anticipate making $1 billion this year. What's it going to cost us? Well, about 20%. Okay, that's worth it. We're going to go. We're going to go for it. They figured that there were only going to be 20% of the people that realized it was them that was the issue. And that's the way they do it. They say which one. Actually, there was a movie made about that too. I'm trying to think what movie it was. It was sometime while she was still alive that we saw this movie. And that's exactly the way that it is. That they look at it and they say, okay, this is how much we put into it. This is how much we make. And we're going to have to pay out claims of this much. And as long as this much doesn't equal this much or more, then they go for it. They don't care about people. They only care about, about profit. So, now that I got that off my... Oh, plus we weren't allowed to talk about it.
Oh,
Let them find me.
did you sign a non-disclosure,
I had to.
an NDA?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, let's finish with this one here. Believe it or not, it's 10 o'clock already. Giant, this was from a while ago, that's why I want to do this one. Candy giant Mars to acquire snack maker Kellogg's in a $36 billion all-cash deal. Can you all-cash deal? It's crazy.
How many brink trucks that took?
Mars owns brands like M&M's and Snickers, while Kellogg's owns brands like Pringles and Cheez-Its. $36 billion cash. Can you imagine? Oh, did I say Kellogg's? No, Kellanova. So, in case you were wondering about Kellanova, an all-cash deal for $83.50 per Kellanova share. Acquisition expands Mars snacking platform. Shares up nearly 8% in the early trade. Family-owned company Giant Mars is buying Cheez-It maker in nearly $36 billion deal, bringing together the brands M&M's and Snickers to Pringles and Pop-Tarts in the biggest deal to date. Mars said on Wednesday it'll pay $83.50 a share, representing about 33% premium to its close, a 33% premium to what their closing price was.
They wanted to make this deal, didn't
they? They did want to make this deal. And it's first reported that Mars was exploring a deal for the frozen breakfast foods such as Morningstar Farms and Eggo. So that's who they wanted to sell to. The deal is a bet that consumers continuing to indulge in branded snacks and comes as packaged food companies face stalling growth after years of price hikes to cover skyrocketing inflation. The combined company aims to hold prices steady. And it says here, it will not pass on the cost to the consumers. We're a big and stronger company. We hope to absorb more costs in our structure to alleviate the issues we have in inflationary environment. So there you go. There's Pop-Tarts. I never thought the Pop-Tart business was that big. But
no wonder the price went up.
I guess so. Jeez, or the Pop-Tarts went down. They made them thinner, and I remember when I was a kid, there were a lot more Pop-Tarts.
They don't raise prices.
Yeah, those Pop-Tarts used to be a lot bigger.
They used to be a lot thicker.
Yes. So, all right, with that, I'm going to take and wait, what's it say? My one med was $1,400 a month, and I would owe $470 if I bought it through at my insurance. Whoa, that's crazy. That's a lot of money.
It is a lot.
That's just insane money. Well, get yourself a Pop-Tart.
Get yourself a phone.
They're not going to raise
Michael?
prices.
Good show tonight, brother.
It was a fun show, and it was educational, so people may have learned something. Possibly. Probably not. Probably not. So, all right. I guess until next week, we will try it again. And I got to see what this dog is going for now. I'm going to set up the studio differently maybe next week. Well, no, I won't have time next week. I'm going to move this stand from this way to this way, and I'm going to put you right in front of me, facing that way, so that it looks like the way I'm actually looking at you. So it stops looking odd. Looks like I'm looking away from you. All right. All right. Well, I guess this is it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel, and still the one.